So Graham did ask who the hooker of the week was.
Well, we will get to that tonight for sure.
Well, I know, but it was funny that he remembered to ask.
That's funny.
And then, of course, Joe was like, "What? There's a hooker of the week?" And I'm like, "Of course there is."
Of course, there's a hooker.
And he's like, "What?"
You know what's interesting is your frequent flyer hooker.
What did she do? Well, I mean, what didn't she not do?
I'm trying to think of.
Holy
She
shit, we got
actually
9
was
people.
talking about, with Congress, members of Congress, and the insights that they have for, like so many of them have stock in the pharmaceutical companies.
They know exactly what's going on.
Exactly. And she actually called them out. And I was like, wow,
What?
you're trying to get your hooker status.
Come we're not on?
That's pretty
Are we on?
non-hooker.
Yeah, we're on.
I know.
That's pretty non-hooker of her. Like, that's surprising.
I
She
know.
can't be growing a conscience now.
I was just like, okay, I'll give her kudos for that. And I'm like, Lindsay's going to be so disappointed that, you
well,
can't.
we already had a good hooker. So, I mean, she
Okay.
has all next week to get her,
How in God's name did we go from 9 people on to 2?
because they.
Because I'm not on yet.
We were
Split
just
second.
talking
I
about
have
hookers.
an algorithm that I add about 8.
Is that what it is?
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
can you go back on then?
Well, it's a good
I'm working
thing.
on it. It won't let me do
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm trying to get in.
It's a good thing
I
our
don't know where the
frequent
hell
flyer
am I?
didn't say that the Holocaust had nothing to do with race.
Oh my God.
Warning. The views in this program are based on the opinions of hosts and guests. We are 4 friends who like to sit around and talk about a variety of topics. This show may be political in nature and may appear one-sided if no one of opposition joins in on the conversation. We try to find common ground on sometimes sensitive topics. So grab a beverage of your choice and let's have a conversation.
You go home and cry to your granny. Dolph, tie up the brat. Lisa, hold the book. Vincent, get the truck. And Keith, darn it, change your name, please. That's not scary, and I'm embarrassed to say it. Boris, try that. Keith, watch out for Keith.
I like how he does that little grunt at the end. Watch out for Keith,
And for any of those that are watching that don't know, so that actually is technically an inside joke. So what it is originally,
Wow.
you got one of your girlfriends.
My girl Angela, who's on here all the time,
She's on right
sent
now.
it. Is she?
Yep.
She sent it. One of the kids sent it to her. She sent it to me, and it's hilarious. And it was right after they met Keith.
And so you sent it to all of us.
I thought it was hilarious.
And we have not let that go.
We
I mean,
have not.
literally, Angela, just for a record,
We still
That-
call him Boris.
that
He's
is-
so Boris.
yeah, that is my ringtone and
Seriously.
on my phone for when Keith calls.
And he won't answer it until it finishes
I gotta
playing,
listen to the whole
which
thing.
is what, like 6 rings or something? It's a long time.
I'm sitting there going, come on, John, pick
Da-da-da.
up the phone.
God forbid it's an emergency.
God
I gotta
forbid.
wait until it says, "Watch out for Keith."
True story.
It is. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So funny.
Welcome everybody to Coffee Table Chronicles. It is Friday, February 4th.
Yes.
Ooh, damn.
I
Going by
know.
quick already.
I know. We had Groundhog Day this week.
Oh, did
Yep.
we? What did it say?
6 more weeks.
Fucking could have told you that shit.
6
At
more weeks.
30 degrees this morning.
I
6
know,
more
right?
weeks of socialism.
That's it. I'll take it.
I know you'll take it.
Right?
Shit, I'll take 6 weeks.
I know they
Can you
keep
promise
saying
that?
6 weeks of what do you want to call it, winter, but what was it? How many more weeks of Biden? It's like, okay.
Not equal.
Yeah.
How many more groundhogs do we have to go through until this can be over?
3 more.
Oh shit, is it really? I thought
No,
it was
2
only
more.
2 more.
Technically 2
Two
more.
more.
God,
Yeah,
don't
2
do
more.
that to me.
Did
2 more.
Biden see his shadow?
Yeah.
Right.
Did Biden see anything other than an ice cream cone? I can't put my arm down.
No, I know. It's going to be difficult for you. Lindsay just got her tattoo cleaned up.
Redone.
That's why it's all shiny.
It's all
Yep.
shiny.
Yeah,
and
I'm
pretty.
shimmery. There you go.
Aw.
It looks
It looks good.
I think it looks
red.
great.
It's orange, and we'll take a picture and put it on Facebook and
You
everything.
can at least see it now. Before it just kind of blended in.
It was old and it was like a light orange. So, you know,
It looks great.
it looks great now. I'm excited. But
Hey.
now I can't unless I just get schmegma on the countertop.
Nice.
Schmegma.
Or on the schmegma.
Megma.
So
hey, if
what's
you guys
the,
are,
sorry.
no, you're good. If you're jumping on for the first time, please go like, share, and subscribe. We are on Getter. We are on Gab. We are on Rumble. We are on YouTube. What else are we on? We're on
Facebook.
Twitter. We're on Facebook.
Occasionally, we're on Facebook
we're on Instagram.
We're on Facebook and YouTube most of the time.
Most of the time,
until we get kicked off.
Yeah, I'm really surprised it hasn't happened.
which I have a feeling might be coming soon, but we'll,
Why?
we'll see what happens.
Because
What am I going to do now?
we are trying to hit all the algorithms.
Okay, let's do it. What else? What else can we say?
Yeah.
We've already said wiener sucker. We've already got, you know, hookers.
Maybe my rant tonight will get us kicked off.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
I don't even know about it.
Yeah, we could just say the two magic words, Joe Rogan.
I love
Oh.
him.
And that's part of my rant. So
Did you see about Zuckerberg?
No.
So, I'm gonna have to look it up. It happened while I was getting my tattoo. You can finish and I'll look it up.
well, we got memes of the week to go through.
Let's go. through
Memes
them.
of the week. Meme
All right,
it up, baby.
Memes of the week.
Memes of the week. This is
Okay.
one of my favorite parts. One
Is
of my
it?
favorite
Okay.
segments. I love this.
That's mine.
Yep.
That's mine. I thought that one was hysterical when I saw it.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
jeez.
I had to read through it.
I know. I was just reading and I was like, hold on.
That's funny. I like that.
You know, it's funny when we all stop to think.
I love this one.
They don't even recognize each other
Right.
anymore.
They're like, what?
Where'd you find that? I like that one. That was good.
That's awesome. You should have had him bald though.
I've seen this one. I've seen this one. This one's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. He's like, what the what?
Have you ever seen that movie?
What movie is it?
Falling Down.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No.
movie.
Literally,
the
it's
movie is
crazy.
called
It's
Falling Down.
He has like a nervous breakdown. It's crazy. It's a
Yeah.
good movie. It's a really good
That
movie.
might need to be something we watch. That sounds
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's a good movie.
No,
That is awesome.
don't even joke.
Tell me that wouldn't make you think twice.
Oh, that is awesome.
I was like, oh, that's actually kind of dark and funny at the
Yeah.
Wow.
same time.
Wow, that's crazy.
That is.
Oh, that's awesome. Can I put that on Bill? So when she stands barking at you at the door, there's a machine gun on her back. That's amazing.
That is awesome.
Oh.
Props to whoever thought of that. I saw this
Ew.
today. This is funny.
Poor Greta. Poor Greta.
I
Ah,
know,
poor little 10-year-old.
right?
No, she's like 18 now.
Is she 18?
Yeah.
God, seriously? Oh,
That doesn't.
Right?
yeah.
That is something she would say.
Why does she? Every time she opens her mouth, she looks like freaking
She just can
Mr.
she
Ed.
just
You
not
know,
be
it's just Wilbur. You know, it's all I think
Wilbur?
of.
Just
Jesus.
don't judge her. It's not nice.
I will judge her. This was good. Lindsay sent me this one.
That was awesome.
So true.
Oh, I like
love
that.
that.
So true.
I was like, that's freaking great.
Did you hear? We'll get to that later. What they're doing.
Yeah,
about
there's
this.
yeah, that
I
comes up.
can't wait. I gotta find
I didn't know if you meant for me to put this up, but I love this. 'Cause
That's
it's-
great. That's
it's
why
awesome.
I did.
Okay.
And then you enjoyed it extremely too much
Yeah.
because riding that thing in the snow, first of all,
Off the bat.
you're already fucking frozen. So your bones are just going to snap.
Yeah, but at least when you fly out when you're going 100
Yeah.
miles
Oh my
an hour,
God.
it's soft
Absolutely.
Yeah,
landing.
remember when
Why are
used
you
to
not
sit
holding
there
on hard enough to fly off?
And there used to have to be that one kid that was out there and he or she was trying like hell to make that thing. It's like the intent
Was to see
get
how
it-
many
to-
people
to
you can
get to
fly out.
fly everybody else.
Yeah,
off.
that'd be me.
Oh
Yep.
my God.
I was
Uh-huh.
100% the pusher. 100%.
This is so true.
For real.
Yeah.
So I sent that
We're
to
at
you
that age.
Yeah.
because I was like, that's going to be you after this weekend. Rototilling the yard. You're going to be like out for a month.
Probably.
And Lindsay can just laugh at us.
No.
This is so true. And that actually, you know what's
Yes.
funny?
Oh.
Mom, that actually looks like your handwriting on one of your notes you left.
No,
Oh,
because
whoop
it
it.
doesn't say Keith on the top of it. I was thinking more apple, but there'd have been other words used in
If
there.
not everybody.
And we got a cat on the table.
And there's a cat in
Yes.
the head.
I like the fact that it had a name and it crossed it off and then
Right?
underlined everybody.
Everybody.
getting away.
Everybody.
Because she was like, hold on. No, I got to whoop everybody's ass if
Yeah.
I'm going to. You know, she
Yep.
thought about that one.
That's funny.
Where is this? Oh,
Oh, I saw the same thing, but it was Nickelback.
Oh, was it?
Hey.
I like my, don't get me
say,
wrong. I
yeah.
like my Nickelback.
Don't start.
Yep.
Why is this?
And all I got to say is you have to love the great state of Arizona, right?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
you do.
This, you actually took this.
Yeah.
picture.
That is
Yeah.
on Rittenhouse, baby. I know that
Yeah.
intersection.
I was actually driving to the Phoenix office the day I saw
really?
this.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
That's awesome.
Luckily,
Oh, is it
you had
really?
time to pull up in front, stop, get out, and stand alongside the road waiting for it to pass.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. It was
Yeah, because he would never drive.
very tactful.
Yes.
And last one, I love this one. I love that.
You know,
Don't
it sucks,
you get tight with me, sir.
Just the
it sucks
expression.
when Lindsay is not paying attention and she's looking up crap on her phone.
I'm trying to find that story because it was about Zuckerberg and it was really good. But I only got to half read it because I was getting tattooed.
We got comments. We got to keep up on the
I'm
comments.
Oh.
sorry.
Oh, everybody's just saying hi. Everybody's saying hi to
Hi,
each other.
everybody.
All right, news of the week.
News of the week.
Let's do this.
All right.
I probably. Oh, okay. Did say that.
Oh, look at this. So,
Wow.
not necessarily a news story, but I just thought it was interesting. You know, has anybody ever seen Wag the Dog?
I've heard about it. I've never seen
Or
it.
heard
Oh,
the-
you
heard
haven't
the-
seen it?
Heard the
Mm-mm.
expression?
It's a good
No.
one.
So, long story short, basically the premise of the movie is the president's in trouble. And so, time to change public opinion, get his bad troubles off the newsprint. So, they start a war.
Hollywood starts a fake war.
Hollywood starts a fake war. So, technically, it's called diversionary foreign policy. Just thought I'd
Interesting.
kind of bring that up.
That's interesting.
So in social life, we've got there's been some disclosures that show that Dr. Fauci's household makes $1.7 million in 2020, including income, royalties, travel perks, and investment gains.
Oh, yeah.
Royalties from what?
Easily. His wife fucking buys everything that he tells her to.
Royalties from what though? Are we getting kicked off of YouTube because we're down to one watch?
Well,
right
usually
now?
when we're kicked off, they do more than just everybody but one. But
Oh, do they? I don't know. I haven't been kicked off.
haven't
yet.
been
just
kicked off
I
yet.
could be wrong, but you know. And then obviously everybody saw that Whoopi Goldberg got suspended, and I guess
Fucking
you know the
hooker.
rumors are that she's pretty pissed about it.
Yeah. Well, now she's
Suck
threatening
a
to
wiener.
quit.
Huh?
She's threatening to quit. Now.
She's threatening to quit.
Fucking do it.
I was
That's-
going to
That
say.
is the most supportive thing I will ever hear come out of
Yeah.
your mouth. I am 100% there for you, boo boo.
Yeah, but that was
Yeah.
like if Trump got in and we were all going to move to Canada. That didn't happen.
Right.
Right.
I'll
Hey,
do it. Let's
now
do
she
it.
has her opportunity to go to Canada.
Right? Exactly.
So
Ain't gonna let her
did
in.
you see the
She can quit and go to Canada.
Bye.
did you see the disturbing fact that Pelosi, of all people, was sitting there and telling our
Right here.
athletes,
Sorry.
be careful when you're in China, you could get in trouble, and there's nothing we can do for it.
What?
Oh my God. There's a video of her telling the athletes, do not put yourself at risk. Don't say anything. Don't. I mean, it's like the craziest thing when you start seeing some of the crap that the athletes, they told them, don't take your phones, don't take your tablets or your computers.
Mm.
They gave them,
Yeah.
they told them take burner phones to,
Yeah.
to China.
Yeah, because
Wow.
otherwise they're
They're
gonna
gonna
hack
get
their
hacked.
phones.
Yeah.
And
They
yeah.
told them take burner phones. Literally leave all your personal stuff at home.
Why? Fucking
Because it's going to get
Biden's
hacked.
son is emailing them anything they need anyways. So what do
No,
our
they're saying
athletes
that the
need?
Chinese are going to just, they're just going to hack the shit out of these athletes' phones.
Wow.
So did you hear what they're doing with those that are testing positive for COVID?
Over in China? Or
Yeah.
They're going to
The athletes.
they're going to the rehabilitation camps.
They're putting them in isolation. There was a Belgium skeleton athlete that she had COVID before going over there the beginning of January. She since has taken 12 tests, all tested negative, and they threw her in isolation. And they said at first it was like 3 days or 4 days, and then they came back. Even though they're testing her 2 times a day, it's been negative. Then they came back and said, "Well, we're going to do another 7 days. You're quarantining."
Of course, because then while they're quarantining you for safety, they can win everything. Or they can get to your
Well,
stuff or they
besides
can
that,
do
they're
whatever.
sitting there, and I wish I could.
Well,
do
and
it
she's
to-
in isolation. There's nobody around
Nope.
her, and she's like in tears. And
Oh yeah, because it screws with your mental stability.
exactly.
well, and she's there to compete, and she won't be able to
Nope.
compete.
So
Right.
she
You
just
know?
lost all
And-
that
and the
money,
Chinese
all
are
her
sitting there going,
sponsorship.
we don't understand. We sprayed the shit with this COVID. Why does she not have it?
Exactly.
You know, while she's got the ivermectin in her
Blood because
in
of
her
where she
back.
came from. Okay, so I found it. So this was from today. Oh, the 3rd. I'm sorry. It was from yesterday morning. I apologize.
Okay.
Facebook loses $237 billion.
Oh, you told me
Yeah,
that.
so that's a story for later.
Is it in there? Oh, okay.
It's in here, so that's 22%. By the time it was all said and done,
26.
22 after overnight trading.
Oh, okay.
So after overnight trading, it ended up being a whole 22% of their net worth.
Mm-hmm. 237 billion is
Womp, womp, womp.
22%.
Largest one day loss
Ever.
for a company in U.S. history.
Ever.
Wow.
And Zuckerberg cried.
What are they attributing it?
Oh.
Well, we'll get to it later when you get to it. We'll wait.
Okay.
Well,
I just wanted to say that Zuckerberg cried.
There is no real reason why, but the unofficial reason is there is a movement on the left to cancel Facebook.
What? Oh, is that because stuff's actually getting out there?
No, because Facebook is not doing enough to censor the right.
Exactly. No, exactly.
That's
I
exactly what
100%
they're
believe
saying.
that. 100% believe that.
They're not bowing fast enough to the radical left.
They're not able to control
there
everybody.
There's actually a hashtag cancel Facebook now.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
100% would not surprise me.
Yes.
Go for it.
Disgusting.
Speaking of overreach, Iowa lawmakers introduced a bill today that would install cameras in classrooms. The intent is to monitor for CRT. I am totally against this. I'll just go on the record and say
Cameras in classrooms for public schools?
Yep.
Pull your kids out of fucking public schools. We've been saying that forever.
So
Do not let the government control what you
there
want to
was-
teach them.
in researching the story, there was actually a bill last year in Florida or earlier this year, whatever it was, late last year, I guess. And it was actually cameras and audio to monitor students and parents.
I 100% would not be a teacher and I would not let my kid go there.
It's just it's a terrible idea. I understand the premise behind it, but it's not the way to do it.
It's got some positives and some negatives. I mean, for those kids that are acting up, or they say, the teacher did this or the teacher did that, or some other
It's
kid.
not going to protect any teachers.
Well, you can go back and find the truth in those circumstances. But I mean, if you're, I don't know, monitoring the teacher for how they're performing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They do that though already. Like that's why they do walkthroughs.
Well,
that's
the thing is, and you will get, I mean, the funny thing is it's the same old story of, we've heard that those that push cancel culture, eventually they'll come around to start eating their own.
Yeah.
And there will be an issue because the teachers unions will be definitely against this,
Mhm.
and it'll be interesting because it's going to make strange bedfellows for who's for and who's against.
Right.
So some of these cartoons, I will say that
I like
they are from Town Hall. So just wanted to point that out. But I thought this one was funny because I had the wag the dog thing on there,
Yeah.
and I came across this the next day. So, speaking of Ono, so Sean Ono Lennon tweeted the other day, "Isn't it weird how some people would be upset if ivermectin turned out to be effective COVID treatment?"
Interesting, isn't
Thought
it?
that was an interesting
That's
one.
interesting. Yeah.
MSNBC's Mika Brzezinski says cancel culture is getting out of control after the Whoopi Goldberg suspension. Oh, you think? Now all of a sudden it's getting out of control.
Because, like you said, now it's coming back to eat their own.
They're starting.
Yeah.
Well, and
Right.
that was, what was it, a video you were watching or something you were watching last night that says, okay, well, at the beginning it was, face masks don't work. Face masks don't work
We'll talk about
6 months ago. But now it's like, oh, face masks don't work.
Right.
And now it's fine. Ivermectin doesn't work. And now it's starting to come around. Oh, now it's okay. Like just because we were faster to jump on the bus doesn't mean that research was any less effective.
Right.
Right.
But now because you guys have heard that it's okay, like,
Oh, wait. We're coming around to the COVID stuff. So this is still
Sorry.
just in the social category. We'll jump to business here real quick. Jobs report came out today. Interesting enough, it said that 467,000 jobs were created in January, which was way more than expected. But on the other hand, unemployment went up a tick, 3.9 to 4%. So I thought it was interesting.
Didn't they just release a jobs report? I thought I heard on the radio that they lost we took a
There
loss
was
of
a there was a
300,000
huge
jobs.
there was a huge expectation we were going to lose jobs.
Right.
The White House was actually prepping for it yesterday. They were expecting to have a huge job loss. And so Psaki was out there telling the press, don't put too much into it. It comes from a bunch of different sources, blah, blah, blah. It's like,
But when it works for you, it's all great places.
It's the same thing that it's been for the last 20 something years.
Yeah.
How is it all of a sudden not work now?
Yeah.
But, then all of a sudden it's 467,000 jobs for January. And they're like, woohoo, see what we did?
That's so great.
But then on the flip side, the other part of it, and I've read 3 or 4 stories on it, and I can't figure out why, but the unemployment went up just 0.1%.
Really?
So 3.9 to 4%. And
Even with the extra jobs going up?
even with the extra jobs. So it does seem like it's
It's weird.
opposite directions.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why. I gotta see if I can figure that out. Disappointing news. We see that the national debt exceeded $30 trillion this week.
Wow.
Oh, that's because we raised that,
Oh
ceiling.
my God. I mean, it's just horrible. Congress aims to put a complete U-turn on decades of economic relations with China.
Sure, they
Facebook suffers its biggest one-day value drop of any U.S. company in history.
do. And Zuckerberg cried.
Womp, womp, womp.
Womp,
Amazon
womp.
Prime customers are going to pay significantly more for their membership.
Yeah, it's going up to 113 a year.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's going up to 139.
Oh, it's 130?
139, I think is what I read.
I thought it was 113. I could be wrong. You could be right.
No.
What?
Yeah. that's
But, and
ridiculous.
Netflix raised their rates super high
Yes.
too.
Yep.
Well,
all
gas is
up.
going up.
That totally affects Netflix. Absolutely.
So who saw the study?
No.
So,
That's a good study though.
and this
Yeah.
comes from John Hopkins.
Oh, I gotta read that. Do you have the study?
No,
I can probably find it though.
you can find it though.
Okay, I gotta
So
look that up.
now, granted, it was done by some economists. I'm sorry, can't speak.
Economics.
Yeah. You understand what
I
I'm
got
talking about
you.
at
Yeah.
least. So some economists did the study. It's not actually by doctors or anything like
Yeah.
that. So
The doctors
it's
don't-
it's more of an economic study.
Oh, okay.
but
So
it
it's
does
more
say,
money
but
than
it does say that, because they take into account the whole aspect of, what it did to the economy, what it did to
Mhm.
kids being at
Mhm.
home,
Yep.
all that more
Yep.
overall, not just the medical aspect of it.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
huge.
I
So-
still don't think we've seen the full effect.
No, we
No,
haven't.
and
Oh,
it's
God,
one of those
no.
things
I
that
don't
they
think so.
will. they'll
It'll be
look at it-
years.
Yeah, they'll look at
Oh
it
my
20
God.
years from now and say, oh yeah, they should have.
It was devastating.
They
10
should've done
years
it
from
this way,
now,
or should've
I
done
want
it
to
that way.
see these kindergartners and first graders who didn't get to go to kindergarten, who had a terrible first grade. How are they going to act in 10 years? How are they going to act in 5th grade? How are they going to act in high school?
Right.
How are they going to act going into the job force?
You already see it though.
That's just retarded kids in general.
I'll tell my
But
grocery
my-
store story later.
My question is they're behind 2 years.
Right.
So we have 2nd graders because Arizona, no kid left behind. You're not going to fail them. You're going to keep pushing them through. So we're going to have seniors who are actually sophomores. Lord, baby Jesus, help me. 10th graders graduating high school is essentially what you're going to
Yep.
be because you're always going to be making it up.
Yeah.
So is that just what we're going to be forever? Because
Well,
how do you push them forward again? Like,
that goes back to, so a future episode, one of the future episodes is going to be if John were president, dose, and how I would resurrect or fix the
Education.
whole education system.
that'd take a lot of ass whoopings.
The funny thing is it flies in the face of what I wholly believe in the fact that the federal government should not be in the education business in
At
the
all.
first place. Yeah,
At all.
It should be run by the
Yeah.
states. I saw today because of the Supreme Court still kind of weigh out what it's going to do for the abortion aspect. Several states are already their legislatures are going and putting in what they want to do for abortion, which totally is the way it's supposed to be.
Why is your body, your choice even a choice anymore? The government already took that away from you when it came to the COVID vaccine.
I know, but that's a whole different story. It's only when it's convenient.
Hmm.
So you see
That's
that
gonna be
Pfizer
Lindsay's
requested
rant.
emergency use authorization for vaccines of children under 5.
This is criminal.
I
mean,
heard
it's
about the
criminal.
5-year-old kids on the radio and I came home and yelled at Keith.
It's sick.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
God help Keith.
Seriously, I was like, did you know about this? He's like, I did. And I was like,
It's
oh,
disgusting.
Black
Well, I
Lives
didn't.
Matters says that they voluntarily have shut down their fundraising after they've been threatened with legal action because they found out that they have been collecting money and they spent, I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of $6.5 million to some Canadian shell company to buy property.
awesome. Can
Oh,
they
really?
fix all the fucking shit they blew up and torn apart and take care of the families' lives that they
I
killed?
think it's
That'd be nice.
California.
That would be great.
I think it's California. Ironically, California is actually going. Their attorney general has said that they're going to take them to court.
No, they're not.
Well, the funny thing is, they also found out, and that's why I have the "or did they?" because while they reported that they shut down their fundraising, they actually didn't.
And they probably gave
course.
them money. They just
So-
want to be in the news.
Yeah.
Immigration.
Distraction.
Immigration in the southern border. Large spike in Russian and Ukrainian illegal immigrants coming across the southern border.
There's a shock.
Why not?
You
It's
know?
open. Come on in.
Right.
Politics. American passes the America Complete Act to counter Chinese economic
Competes act.
competes. Is that what I said?
You said completes.
Competes act to counter Chinese economic threats, but there's some stupid ass legislation in there. There's things about coral reefs and stuff.
That's
It's
because they
like,
wanted
really-
to pass some shit.
I mean, it's
They
just
threw
it's
it in
crazy.
there.
Well, basically what it is, they say it's small bite-sized versions of Build Back Better.
Mm-hmm. Sure it is.
I wish
Uh,
they would make each law or whatever they do. It's one thing only. Not let's put the-
950
Yeah.
pages because we can sneak it in. Nope, one, and that's
So-
it.
Yep.
Russia has threatened power grids if Biden does a move on Ukraine. So cyber war stuff on losing power.
Mhm.
Really? Wasn't there a meeting about that a couple months ago that we talked about?
Yes, there
What
was.
would happen if the power grid went
The
down?
World Economic Forum.
About 8 months before. Just saying.
Interesting.
Mhm.
And there's already been
Shutdowns.
there's been hacks on the pipeline. There's been I
Right.
mean, it's happened.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
happened before.
And the Russians say they know nothing about it. I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
comrade.
I want to go back. You don't have to go back up, but talking about the immigration thing, as soon as you said that Russian and Ukraine crossing the border, you know what came to mind? The movie Red Dawn,
Oh yeah.
right? Only we're not parachuting in.
How do you?
You're right.
They're walking
We're
right
coming
in.
in through the
And how
south.
do you
The
not?
original 84 Red Dawn, they came across the border from Mexico into
There you go.
Texas.
Yeah.
And what is the closest power plant to the southern border?
I give.
It's real close to us. It's
Well,
the
they
one
don't
that
have-
one of your buddy lives near.
They don't have to
There's
shut.
more than that, though.
They don't have to
It's
shut down a
not
power
the nuke, not the
plant.
nuke plant.
But
They're
that's
just
what I'm
talking about-
saying.
They're
Our
just talking
nu-
about hacking into the grid itself.
Yeah, they're just
Why
saying the
would
grid-
why would they when they're here?
they don't have to? I mean, the whole thing is they can be doing it right from Russia without.
Well, I
having
know
to-
Yeah.
that,
Right.
but
Yeah.
but them coming over, how do we not know that?
I mean,
They're right here.
Trump had pointed it out years ago, saying that our grid is open.
Oh yeah, it's
so he
super
signed something into law that was supposed to go in,
help
and that's
secure it.
well, that was part of the whole. Help me out. What's the Defense Act where they outlawed all those Chinese-made parts?
Oh,
NDAA.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they outlawed all those Chinese-made parts, and they started. Part of the thing was that the electrical grid had to be upgraded to
Mhm.
Different parts,
yeah,
American-made parts
products
that didn't.
had to
Yep.
be, or it didn't even have to be American-made products. It had to be non-Chinese made products.
Yep.
So, so they're working
Because
on
who
that.
knows what they put in there?
But the question is now, how far did they get? And has the Biden administration backtracked on
Stopped
that
it.
like they've done everything else?
Yep.
We don't know.
Well, literally everything he signed in, he unsigned. So probably.
Let's just, for shits and giggles, let's just take a look at what's going on in the Ukrainian
Kiev.
papers today.
Oh,
Mhm.
you know, my dad would be proud right now. He loves the Russian, the Ukrainian, and the Iranian news. It's his favorite thing to watch.
Okay, so literally their top headline is Putin and Z urge end of NATO enlargement. The double death of the EU foreign power. YouTube blocks Ukrainian separatist channels. Blah blah blah. Okay, all right, nothing there that we're seeing. So I thought this was interesting. So let's go to the truckers for a second.
Yeah.
Now it was interesting. Bongino brought up on his podcast the other day. Workers are rising up against the establishment. And it kind of goes back to one of the memes of the week. You would think that the left would be all for that. the left of the 60s would have been all for that.
It's great.
Up against the man, power.
The workers are
Power
woo.
for the people,
Mhm.
Now all of a sudden you got the Canadian Prime Minister and his family fleeing the capital, to go into hiding. You've got
From the truckers.
You've got Facebook that went and
Wow.
took down and barred posts from American truckers
Mhm.
to try and do the same here in the
Yep.
U.S. They're basically the truckers are being treated as public enemy number one in Canada.
Yep.
They froze their accounts for GoFundMe.
Are you serious?
Jesus.
Yeah, they were up to $10 million.
I'm sure they were.
To pay for food,
Gas.
fuel,
Yep.
and whatever else they needed so they could stay there, because there's some of these truckers that said they're going to stay there until the mandates go away.
Yeah.
And so they raised $10 million. And so GoFundMe.
I donate to that.
Where did that money go?
Well, it's not
It's
gone
frozen.
anywhere. It's frozen. So GoFundMe has frozen it.
I can tell
And-
you right now, if I donated to that, I'd be like, you're going to either give my money to who I gave it to, or you just committed fraud
Well,
and you
there-
kept money
there-
that's not yours.
There's some lawyers that are jumping.
I'm
and
sure
going,
there
Hold
is.
on.
Yeah.
These
You
guys
can't-
complied with
Mhm.
everything, because there's nothing in the GoFundMe's,
Rules and whatever.
rules,
Uh-huh.
it says, it has to be.
Literally,
they're
some
not
woman was on
violating-
there.
they're not violating any kind of standards or anything.
Literally, some woman was on there to help pay to fix her vagina because she was born without a vagina so that she could have sex with her boyfriend.
Oh, there's also I see
Oh,
people
yeah.
that just want vacations.
Yeah,
Go
like-
fund, help me
Yeah.
fund my vacation. Holy cow.
You
Uh-oh.
are messy.
You are making a mess over there.
Well, he came
Here.
Well, I
prepared
gotta
too.
roll with paper
don't worry,
towels.
don't worry, Keith. I got it. Are you leaking over there?
He is.
Keith's dog leaks, apparently. So
does. She has a leaking problem.
And only 1 in 4 approve of the Liberal government's handling of the trucker convoy protest, according to polls in Canada. That's as of today.
1 in 4. Wow, that's more than I figured.
And then, I love this Elon Musk quote or tweet, Canadian truckers rule.
I agree.
Done.
They rule.
And
Yeah.
then
It's about time somebody grew some
And
balls.
actually, I meant to throw in here also that so Rick DeSantis had in there truck, yeah.
That's awesome. That's great.
I meant to put that in and I forgot.
That's awesome.
I've had this on here for a couple weeks and I meant to just talk about it just real quickly, just to kind of, there's been all this talk about, Jim Crow laws and things like that. These were, just wanted to point out, and this is stuff right off of Wikipedia. This is not something off some right or left wing anything. These were state and local laws to enforce racial segregation. And they were mostly by the white Southern Democratic dominated states. Just wanted to point that out. And they also talk about wanting to do away with the filibuster. Basically, a filibuster is talking a bill to death. The longest filibuster in history was done by Senator Strom Thurmond in 1957 for more than 24 hours. Or I'm sorry, filibustered the Civil Rights Act in 1957 for more than 24 hours. And then the Democrats had the longest one in history that was for 60 hours.
60 working days.
60 working days. I'm sorry.
Oh wow.
Wow. Wow.
To
That's-
try
That's a long time.
to
that's
hold up the passage of
2
the
months.
Civil Rights Act.
Yeah.
So,
I've heard that
Fidel
before.
Castro's son.
I've heard that before because we have some Canadian friends
Oh.
and they brought that up before.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they talk about, doing away with the filibuster, well, the Democrats are the ones that are famously, I mean, the longest one in history is technically 60 hours to try and stop the Civil Rights Act.
60 days.
60 days.
60 days. I'm sorry.
That's
And
a
so,
long time.
It is.
Like,
It's like-
continually, or
Is
does
it like
come
a
back?
tag team? Okay,
Yeah.
you're right.
I'm gonna go pass out in the corner while you keep talking.
Yeah.
Like, oh fucker.
the single payer healthcare act that we were talking about a couple weeks ago in California that actually failed again.
Oh, it's so
Aw.
sad.
AOC tells Schumer to make cinema's life as difficult as possible. Here's the actual
What?
tweet. Because
I thought hookers stuck together.
so basically, because she's calling cinema an obstructionist and she wants Chuck Schumer.
What? Because she doesn't believe that what they're doing is for the,
Because Kristen
isn't.
Cinema does not fall in line with what AOC says.
Oh, womp, womp, womp.
And so she, and the only power that AOC has, so she's a representative. She's not a senator.
Correct.
And the only power that she has is the fact that she is not ruling out that she's going to run against Chuck Schumer in the next election. And Chuck Schumer is scared shitless that he's going to lose to her.
God help us.
Ew, God, is she really going to?
Yeah, she's hinting at it. And so, I like to always end with a nice quote. I thought this was actually good from Teddy Roosevelt. Nothing in the world is worth having or worth doing unless it means effort, pain, and difficulty. I've never in my life envisioned a human being I've never envied a human being who led an easy life.
Very true.
Very true.
Very nice. AOC is a moron, capital M.
She doesn't know how to spell moron.
100%.
John's favorites.
All right.
Okay.
What is that little thing?
I thought I would just point out where I get all my news sources from.
Oh,
Nice.
So I get an email every day, every morning from 1440. If you don't do this, check 1440.com. Literally, it's just unbiased news. They just send you an email. It's probably about 2 minutes worth of reading.
Never even heard of them.
You can click on it.
I get it every day.
It's a great news source. It's extremely non-biased. I mean, there's no opinion whatsoever.
Literally, this is what happened.
It's the news.
Thanks. This is what happened as well.
It's what the news used to be back
exactly.
in the 50s. I mean, it's literally just this is what happened and that's it. Click here if you want more. Obviously, I'm sure everybody knows that I go to the Epic Times a lot. I have a subscription. I love the Epic Times because of the fact that it's very worldwide. There's spots in there where you can go and you can see China, you can see Canada, you can see the UK, you can see Germany, you can see whatever. And it's very good in that respect.
Oh, that's cool.
And they have a great section where you can go and see like the timelines of COVID or the timelines of whatever,
oh, cool.
The Russian collusion thing or all these. I mean, they have all these. They do a really good job. They do it like old school as far as the investigative reporting.
Nice.
I go into Yahoo News daily just to take a look at it. It has, while I'm not a fan of their opinions, Yahoo does a great job as far as collating everything from whether it's Fox, NBC, CNN, all those different kinds of things.
I don't know. Yahoo News always seems one-sided.
It is very one-sided.
Yeah, it
but
is.
you need that, you need that other side.
too.
I honestly believe that you need to have that other side. You can't live in a bubble and just do one side because you don't get to see a good overall. So I do Yahoo because of the fact that it gives me
one side.
It gives me a bunch of everything. So
it helps you understand somebody else's point of view too. I mean, if you don't understand that, you don't understand.
Are you taking like pictures of your coffee?
No, I just got an alert.
I was going to ask
on
you
the
what
camera,
that was.
And there's a cat.
Oh, is he a little orange
walking.
kitty?
Yeah.
I saw when I was pulling up.
Yeah.
He's going to be coyote food because there is.
They're out crazy.
So we were in the backyard 2 nights ago and it's 6:30, 7 o'clock. Wasn't terrible. It was going to be the freeze warning. So I'm like, okay, we'll cover the plants. The dogs are outside with us, but it was dark, but it wasn't like dark.
Okay.
And you hear the coyotes howling, which we hear all the time. Dogs have heard it.
It was just early.
It was
for them.
For them, yes. They're usually not out till 9 or 10, but the dogs have heard it. They've been out there. No big deal. Mm-hmm. Then I told Keith, I'm like, I hear him. He's over here. Oh, and then he's getting closer. You could see him running right at the bottom of the hill. Oh my God. The dogs freaked out.
Yeah.
Really?
I have never seen Bill so vicious.
They were out for blood.
Like, oh my goodness. They were just so, and you could hear them. And then they went around the corner and then you could hear that they met up with the pack. And there was a bunch of them. I was like, okay, that's more than one. It's time to go in the house. Yep. I don't need the puppy dogs getting.
Yep.
You can't have the orange kitty.
No, orange, no, Dan, no orange kitty for you.
He's going to be coyote food. Probably.
If you ever get a chance, I love the Washington Examiner.
I've heard of it.
It reads like old time news.
Oh,
I mean, their
cool.
format is just, everything is all just like an old newspaper.
That's cool.
Love the Washington Examiner. Another one of those that actually does, and they have people on staff that goes and does investigative reporting.
Oh, that's cool.
They were the ones that broke the story about Black Lives Matter and the improprieties with their finances.
Oh, that's cool. A million years ago?
And then Town Hall. I love Town Hall for a lot of different reasons. Probably the funniest is the fact that I love their cartoons. I get the email every day that has about 5 or 6 political cartoons, just like the
That's
old
funny.
political cartoons. And some
That's
of them
great.
are hysterical. So that's my favorite thing for the week.
There you go.
Where's Newsmax?
Newsmax. Newsmax, I don't have on there because I don't usually draw too many stories from Newsmax
them.
on here. Because I will admit, Newsmax is very far right.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't want to put, unless there's
That
something,
into
unless
stories.
there's something that really just I can't find anywhere else, I'll put it from Newsmax into the newsletter. But other than that, I just try to grab what I can off of those sources. Newsmax is where I usually get, as I'm watching it through the week, I'll get tidbits of something and I'll do the research to
some more
find out where the
research.
rest of the story is.
You're trying to keep it neutral.
I
Yeah.
try
Yeah.
to an extent.
No, it's good. That's good. I like all
That's
those
what we're here
sources.
to do, is to be neutral.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Look, you just roll right into the topic.
He
We could-
did.
we could
Well,
do it.
Look at that.
Damn.
You want me to stop talking for a minute?
No, you're good.
What else do we have to talk about?
I want to,
Can we talk about the hooker?
let me kind of
Yeah,
roll.
let's go to the hooker.
I want to, all right, before I roll into that then. So we'll do that. We'll do Hooker of the Week. Because I know Lindsay likes her little intro.
Yes, she
So we'll do
does.
the
You
intro.
know I do. I love it.
So this week's Hooker of the Week is
Ba-da-da-da.
none other than
No surprise. I agree and I don't agree.
oh,
I
So
God.
put it
agree.
back up.
Oh, God.
Put
I agree technically because to be Jewish, I don't know if I would personally consider that a race. I would consider that a religion.
All right. So let me ask you this.
So
Am I
Well,
keeping
what's
her
our
up here?
current
She's-
definition of
she's
race?
kinda disturbing
Our
me a
today's
little.
No, we're
definition that's
talking
been
No
pushed.
idea.
Or put us up.
me and my brain,
It's all about skin color.
race is a color.
Exactly. That's the. Why are you laughing?
Because this is the exact same conversation you and I had.
Yes, it is.
Am I on Wendy's side?
Yes.
Race is a
There's
color.
no right or wrong.
I know there's not at all. But just like the that movie isn't a Christmas movie where he's in the tunnel.
in the duck.
Finish your
we
thought.
do just for
So-
my own sick person,
Yeah.
kind of enjoyment. We do have another speed quiz coming up later.
Oh, you're mean.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's not. I don't see it as a race, personally.
So what?
I know what she was trying to say, and it
So-
pisses me off. But
So what did the Nazis call themselves? One of the things they called themselves.
The master race. Wasn't it?
Yes.
The
yeah.
Aryan race or something?
The original- yeah, Aryan.
Sorry,
race.
but it was, they were
Yeah,
known as the master race.
they were the master race, but they
Right.
called themselves officially the Aryan race. They considered themselves a superior race.
So they. Yes, but was it really a race?
As far as they were concerned, it was.
That's true. It was skin color and eye color is what they were.
It was eye color, and yes, and it had to be all these because otherwise you were not
Pure.
pure.
Yeah.
So maybe in context, the Holocaust wasn't about race, but the whole reason for the Holocaust on the German side was about, you know what I'm saying?
On their
Well,
side,
if
yeah.
you look at
here's the
it-
question that so
I mean-
and let me just state up front. I think that the whole cancel culture did go overboard with Whoopi because of the fact that it's
I'm saying she's the fall girl.
well,
100%.
the flip side of it is, and as I've seen before, we've seen cancel culture go after
Their own.
less. Well,
Yeah.
go after less.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So
They're just being stupid about
they're
stuff.
just being stupid about it.
Yeah.
And we've seen people that have lost their shows because of something that they said that was far less damning than this.
Yeah.
And she gets a 2-week suspension. So that, kind of just again.
Yeah,
goes
she
to
should
the
be
hypocrisy
taken
of it
off,
all.
not being able to be whatever, and she can do what she wants on her own.
But the other question I have is, so are Italians not considered a race? Are the Greeks not considered a race?
Yes.
They're nationalities.
They're
It's a
nationalities.
nationality.
I don't know if I consider
And
them-
essentially that would be a race because
So then why are the Japanese not a country but a race?
I don't know why they would not be. I don't know what being a country has anything to do with it.
But they're a different race, aren't they?
Yeah,
Are they?
but it's not a country.
But
Well,
so why
they're-
are the
they're-
Italians not a different race?
No, but
And see, this is
So
where
when
it
you-
gets.
when you
are we
ask-
mixing
See, it's very
nationality? Are we
gray.
mixing
So when you-
nationality and race? Though that's the thing.
Well, see, the thing is, but she mixed it up too.
Your certain ethnicity doesn't mean, black and whites and Hispanics can be the same ethnicity, right?
I should be
Couldn't we?
watching because I know
Couldn't-
Dan's
I mean,
got an
we
opinion.
can
on
be-
this.
Probably. But no, because what would you say when you say what are you? Like if you what is your lineage? You're going to say German, Irish, Czechoslovakian, Scottish, like that's what you're going to name off.
Right.
Those to me are your races.
So now I heard somebody, and I don't know this to be fact, so I'm gonna put it with an apostrophe. I heard, or not an apostrophe, but a
Question mark.
question mark or something like that. That somebody
Semicolon?
said that. Somebody said that Jews do come up with a different DNA.
It is.
sequence.
So
Yeah.
to be truly Jewish, you are a different DNA
Yeah.
sequence. So if myself said, "Hey, I'm Jewish," and to get into the Jewish church, like I would have to give them a DNA sample.
Really?
100%.
Say that I will admit I did not know anything about.
Because it's a DNA thing.
Yeah.
Really?
And they can trace it back.
So maybe we look.
So
at,
if that's the case, I mean, does that not make it a race thing?
But I'm basing
Because that has
everything.
nothing to do with borders.
It does. And it has nothing to do with religion either.
But I'm basing it on what we are being told race is in today's standards, that it's all skin color.
Well, and this is the same
Because
thing
they're
I
saying
said-
white is white. So
Well,
just because I'm German or Irish, does that mean that I'm not white? Am I German or am I Irish? Or am I white?
It's just defined as being
It's just,
white.
yeah, it's just like when you're
Because it's
black,
a
are
skin
you
color.
Nigerian? Are you African?
You're-
They're all different.
You're
Right.
Irish.
but really, it's a.
I'm
moot- it's a-
Irish, Scottish, and Czechoslovakian. That's a whole lot of.
You'll have to give me some time to come up with
yeah,
that.
in
you
this
think of that.
context, though, it's really a moot point because Hitler's idea for the Holocaust was based on the master race, was based on their race.
Yes.
So, in respect to the Holocaust, it was race driven.
Right. And the
Maybe
thing
not.
is, and this is where I
generally
mean, I
speaking.
think
And I get what you're saying, but if you listen to, so I did watch her interview with
I
Stephen.
didn't.
Colbert.
Colbert. I did watch it and I listened to what she had said. And based on what we are being told in today's day and age about race, that it's all about skin color. So going back to the Holocaust, can they easily differentiate based on that definition?
Just by visually looking at you.
Just by visually looking at skin color, could they differentiate the Jews versus the Germans?
Well, she made that stupid statement too, saying you can't look at a Jew and tell it's a Jew. I beg to differ. I can pick out some.
There are certain traits.
Some
I
you
believe
can't,
is Jewish.
yeah.
Right. There's
And
traits,
it's-
and
and
that
it's-
comes down to a DNA thing, also.
Right.
yeah, but
you
if you've
know.
been mixed a couple times,
I guess.
Well, and back in the 40s, the 30s.
Oh
And the
no,
40s,
Dad, I have to look into that. I
there
heard
was
you
a-
had to give a DNA to be considered true Jewish, but I don't know. That was a while ago.
I mean, I would speculate. I'm going to speculate here that back in the 30s and the 40s, there was a lot less
Mix,
mixing versus what the world
not
is
mixing.
today.
100%.
And again, it goes
100%.
back to the same thing I said to Wendy the other day, in the fact that you can't apply 2022 views on 1940 or 1939.
Well, she did say that she viewed it as it was an atrocity against humanity. She
Humans
did.
suck. 100%. 100%.
What was that?
Humans suck.
Right. I mean, it's like, I would agree with that. That's a huge atrocity against humanity.
Absolutely.
It was. I don't think that was a false statement.
That was a pure power trip. Absolutely.
It proves a point, though, and the point is, people in Hollywood just stay the hell out of politics.
Well,
Yep.
that's true.
true.
Now, their
Do
point,
their job. be an actor, be an actress, whatever you are.
The
Well,
worst
don't
thing
get
is
involved with
that job,
politics.
Well-
her job is that.
Yeah, that's what The View is all
Yeah.
about. The
That was
View
her
is-
choice to do a show
How
like
come
that.
we don't have the?
She's her choice.
How come we
What?
don't have the bourbon cream up here?
I don't know.
Because we have no shot glasses.
So Keith
Yeah.
literally said, he's like, well, I don't know if we're doing drinks because nobody brought shot glasses up. I was like, that could be changed. And he's got the good one.
Oh, you got a new bot.
No, that was in the
Oh,
fridge
that's
in the
that-
garage.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we got some left too. We can.
We
have-
do.
we can have
If only we
party
had
there.
somebody that Shiva, go get some.
Seymour, get some shot glasses.
Bill.
Bring them
Bill.
up. She's behind you. Be careful. Well,
So
we do have half an hour. I can go do that.
I just think maybe other countries view race differently than we do, right? I mean,
It's all what is being pushed. I
Right.
mean, with all the riots and everything BLM, it's all, to me, what is being pushed in our face. It's all about skin color. So you're told that enough, that's what you believe, that's what you see.
right.
And I don't think she meant anything hurtful by
Malicious
it.
by it, yeah.
I don't think it was malicious by any chance. And trust me, I am not a Whoopi Goldberg fan other than the movies she did.
Mhm.
She was great in, but on The View, I could give a rat's ass about it. But I don't think what she said was meant maliciously or to hurt anyone. And I don't see anything wrong with her explanation of it based on what we are being told race is, what race is right now.
The big question comes down though, did they really do it for that reason?
who?
Did they suspend her for what she said? Is that the true reason or is that a cover-up reason? My point is Dan Bongino said the same thing. Eventually they're gonna end up eating their own, right?
Mhm.
With the
Yes.
cancel culture.
Yeah.
Is this a way for them to maybe show our side, the right, by hey, we're not only picking on you guys, we're picking on our own too?
No, because
Or is she
you
the
think
fall
she's-
girl?
is she- oh,
Is
that's what-
she
that's
the
what I'm
one?
saying. Is
She
she a
was
fall
like,
girl?
oh, I'm
Fall girl.
closest.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
think
closest
so?
to retirement. I'll take the hit.
no, because holy cow!
Go lay
What
down.
are the
What
girls?
was going on in here?
So
Lay down.
dogs in the studio.
Yep. Puppies
So
in the studio.
and I say that because ABC. So whatever and somebody will have to fill me in on names because I have no idea. But whoever the guy was that was the host for The Bachelorette.
That's cute. Like I remember.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
So there was the
Why are you
one.
looking at me and Wendy like we have any idea who this person
Yeah.
is?
I'm like, okay.
Should I be looking at Keith?
Probably better chance than me.
So whoever the dude was that was the host for The Bachelorette. And so the one Bachelorette, and this was 6 months ago or so, whatever, she got into trouble because of, on the wrong side of social media because she had been found out that she had a cotillion, which I'm not even sure what that is.
You turn 16.
Yeah,
When
it's
she
a
turned-
party
You're
when you
Hispanic.
turn
when she
16.
turned 16.
It's
And
like a
so-
wedding when you're 16 to yourself.
But she had this, and for whatever reason, she was in a dress and something, and it for whatever reason it ticked off the left. I don't even know the whole deal behind it, but all I know is the point was
Really?
he, the host, stuck up for her and said, "I don't think was basically
Has
something."
anything to do with anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he basically said something to the effect of, "There was no ill intent meant by her being in this dress and doing this event, which was a family function."
Right.
Well,
They're super
it's a-
fancy
it's a-
dresses. It's literally like
but the
a
point
10
was
as
a
a
he
culture
ended up
thing.
he
Yeah, it's a
ended up
culture
getting
thing.
fired for that.
Really?
Really?
He and that's what I mean by I've seen people punished more
Lose
for
their
less.
job for
Right.
less.
Yeah, he got fired for that.
So maybe we were lacking in sticking up for people and what they mean, or
Just sticking up for people in general. Like
right.
Because the other thing Bongino says, which I love when he says it, is the fact that we should hold the left to the same rules. We don't.
That's true.
absolutely.
But it's
Yeah,
true.
and Roseanne
yeah.
was another option. And Roseanne
Yeah.
was another example I saw. Absolutely. Roseanne was fired. Her show went on. Roseanne was fired.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so, yeah,
Chris Harris.
Chris Harrison. Thanks, Christine. I don't even know if that's true or not.
I don't know who that is. We believe you. So
All right.
John's already drinking shit. Okay.
Let's get into today's topic.
All right.
Today's topic.
Okay.
So this was sparked by John, actually.
Oh, shit.
Sent me a couple of videos.
Riled
And,
him up. Thanks, John.
I reviewed the videos, kind of went through it, and I've read a little bit about it prior to those videos and heard about it. But I thought, I think you texted me and said, "Is this show worthy?" And I said,
Good job, Christine.
Absolutely, it is.
She Googled it.
Google is your friend.
Good job.
Um,
Except for when it brings up some random shit.
yeah,
You're like, I did not. It auto-corrects you, and then you don't know where you are, and
So
weird things happen.
So here in the country, we have the credit bureaus, TransUnion,
Right.
Equifax, Experian. They give us a credit score based on our credit worthiness of paying back debt, right? So
Right.
basically, if we're good stewards
think
of
you're gonna pay
money
it back.
and we pay it back, then
If
they
you
give
paid
us more
enough in
credit.
interest, they give you a good
Right,
credit
exactly.
score.
So that controls, typically when you go to buy a house,
Your
when you go
life.
buy a car, when you
Mhm.
go,
Rent an apartment.
even paying medical bills. Even we put it on credit cards. There's a lot we live off of credit cards.
It even to twist that just a little bit tighter in the fact that it makes a difference as to what type of car you can
Yeah.
afford to get.
Well,
Right.
What
and-
size
and
house you can afford
In your
to get.
house. Exactly.
And it may even to an extreme extent be able to whether you can get the medical coverage you want, in the respect that you might get some medical coverage, but
you
you're
won't
not going to
necessarily get that new knee, but we'll pay for physical therapy.
right, or you're not going to get the latest and greatest or the best cardiologist that the money can buy.
Yep.
Because
You're
you
just going
can't
to get
afford
what
that.
you can get.
You're just going to get what you can get.
Absolutely.
Right.
No, and that's 100% with buying a house. So you can have all the money in the world, all the money put away. I have a guy I'm working with right now, and I'm like, okay, do you have 10% down for your down payment? He's like, yeah. Okay, well, I got your bank statements. I didn't see it. Oh, it's in the closet. Awesome, because I'm all for one for stashing money. Like,
Yep.
but
Mhm.
don't expect that to be 50% of your income. Like, I can't do anything with that. You're minimum 6 months away.
I mean,
And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, because you have to show that. It's like, it doesn't matter. And to the other hand, so they want you to have debt, because not having debt, your credit score goes down.
right. And I mean, I've worked in the banking industry. I've worked in loans before,
There you go.
and I don't agree with whatever metrics they came
No.
up with that, because there are people that they live kind of on a cash basis.
Yeah.
They have no
No
debt.
debt
They got a bunch of money in the
in the bank. So they can show that they have the money.
and they have a lot of disposable income, but yet their credit score is in the
500s,
capper, in the
530s.
crapper
Mhm.
Right.
because of
No credit, basically.
So
right?
yeah,
I mean,
because you don't have the history of paying that.
Right.
So
well, they have the history of paying it off.
but in cash, it wasn't
Right,
through payments.
right.
So that was the issue when me and my ex got married and we wanted to buy a house. He had nothing. He lived at home with his parents. He never rented. He never bought his car in cash. Didn't have anything. And so his credit score was like 520s. And it was one of those things where they're like, well, you have to get a credit card. And he's like, I don't want to. And I'm like, well, you have to if you want to buy a house. Like, you have to do it. So it was absolutely awful. Like, you have to get that debt for them to trust you.
And then people get these credit cards,
And then they don't know how to live off of them.
right. Then they go wild with them,
Mhm.
and they don't know how to
I got
manage them.
$10,000.
But,
Right.
but we accept this. We know this is the way of life.
Right.
Yeah,
We
sure.
grow
What else
up.
you
We
gonna
learn
do?
this at 18
Sure.
years old. Your parents teach you, hey, you got to build your credit. You got, in order to be able to do certain things as you become an adult. So there's a thing now.
Oh, Christina's a good thing. Plus, all utilities go by your credit score.
Yeah.
That's true on how much you have to put down.
Right.
Because if your credit
Yeah,
score is
yeah,
crappy,
You
they're
have to put
crappy.
more
They're
of a
like, oh,
deposit down, right?
it's not just 200, it's 5 for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So now they're talking about this new thing, and it's, believe it or not, it's happening around the globe.
Oh,
happening in
crap.
China.
In China.
Shit,
is
what's
a
happening?
social credit score
What the fuck is that?
Social credit system.
system. Sorry,
So
issuing a score, right?
So this is
Okay.
actually, it was started on a quote unquote voluntary basis back in 2014.
I think I heard about this, but go on.
And so they literally monitor. I mean, there's all sorts of, I can look it up and find the actual, because I've got so many. I actually took some of the credits or some of the tests, Granted, they
Pull
were
it up. I want to see this.
they were really stupid tests. You know,
So you sign up for this. And social, you mean like social media? Like,
no.
okay.
So it's like there was one of the things that I was sharing with Keith a couple weeks ago when we came up with this one was, what was the name of the show?
You gotta make me remember now.
It was something.
What's the name of the guy? The guy that does
Like, that's better.
the guy that does
You're not
Family-
helping.
that does Family Man, not Family Man. Crap. Well, we're really just knocking it out of the park.
You guys
But
are doing
basically,
great.
Seth Rogen. MacFarlane. Who? I don't know. Who the hell is it?
Seth Rogen, what are
I
we
don't
doing?
know.
Putting
I
Joe
got
Rogan?
Joe Rogan on the brain tonight.
What
Seth
the
MacFarlane.
hell?
Can I have another shot?
And it was
Yeah.
God, what the? It was like this. It was a Star Trek spinoff. What the
Yeah,
hell was the
it
name
was
of
it was a
that we were
spoof
talking
of Star
about?
Trek, and basically
Anyway.
one of the episodes that I was sharing with Keith was the fact that the episode had where the entire society had no formal government, and it was all about whether you had a social score, and so it was a play on the whole Chinese system. So literally, depending on, they go and they measure how often you play video games, how long are you logged into a video game per day. Whether you, I mean, they go down to how much you're on your phone, how much you're on your internet, how much you're on your, whatever, what your posts are. They monitor,
So it is a social media thing.
not social media. They monitor your,
But video games, I would consider
What-
social media as
What
video
about
games.
face to face with people?
they have no way to monitor that, but they monitor.
But if
like,
I'm not on my
they monitor
phone and
your
I'm not on
bro-
a video game, I'm
right, but
pretty.
they monitor. I mean, they do monitor all your social media. They monitor your search history. They monitor your banking. They monitor your.
See, I'm not with the banking thing. It's not your fucking money. Leave it alone.
Yeah,
like,
it's not
but
your
see, the whole
business.
it's not
point is-
yours.
It all depends on, so
Social media and everything's out there. I mean, you put that in there. You apply for a job, they're going to look at your social media. Like, some people haven't figured that out yet. Please don't post like naked pictures of you being a hooker, because your real job isn't probably going to like that. Like, if people haven't figured this out yet, like, be smarter than this, guys, or at least come up with an alias and be a hooker on that website. Like, you can't do it on your regular one.
The name of the show was The Orville.
the Orville.
Oh, that's the one you keep telling us to watch.
Yeah.
You really can remember that?
No, I couldn't remember that.
Wow.
So now you say there's no way to track our social behavior. There's no way to track how you and I interact with each other, right? But is there?
I would imagine.
Out in public,
They'll
'Cause-
find ways. Well, it does.
Because we
tie
all
into-
have
cameras,
phones.
and facial recognition.
Yeah, I was gonna
Every
say, it
phone-
does-
every
Or our
camera and
phones.
everything,
Our
yeah.
phones track exactly where we are, and do
Right.
we leave our phones at home? No,
Right.
they're always
No,
so
and
it
can
makes
you
sense
not-
to be
so if
able to
I'm
say that
standing-
if my phone and your phone are within 2 feet of each other, we were interacting in some fashion.
right.
Yeah. Well,
And
and then
so-
also, so if John and Wendy were at the corner of such and such, well, they can pull up those cameras and see, oh, look, John and Wendy are right there in that white truck. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
It's not hard.
So if John and Wendy are,
Oh, of course they are.
if both their phones are in the southwest corner of the house, then
We know what they do. Why would you take your phone even
but
in
they
there? Don't
say
you leave it
that
in the kitchen?
but they say that some of the things that happen. So when you are not a model citizen,
What does that even mean?
so they
What is a
literally
model citizen?
When
So-
you call somebody a wiener sucker on Coffee Table Chronicles, you get a low social score.
So it is
Damn
a
it.
legitimate score. It's an actual score, just like your credit score.
What's the lowest score I can get?
And so when you get a low
So
score,
what are the parameters?
I'll get
Yeah,
to
what
that.
are my
But
numbers?
some of the things that they actually do
You
in
want me to
China?
bring it up, or
Yeah, you
have-
got it.
up? No, I thought you had it up.
You got
No,
it.
I don't have it.
Oh.
Okay.
So some of the things that they had that they were talking about is they restrict travel in China.
What?
I mean, and when I say restrict travel, it's not just aircraft travel. Like they will restrict
Buses,
travel on
public
buses and trains.
transportation, right?
I don't want to drive a fucking bus or train. That's fine.
It affects your kids going to college. They will.
It affects your kids.
Yes,
Yes.
they will throttle your internet.
Right.
They will
This is
even.
getting crazy.
They can
What?
even. They can even
Yeah.
I'm
take.
paying for a service, and you're going to tell me I can't
saw-
have that service.
This next one, I saw this on 3 different articles that I read. They will take away your dog.
What? They're gonna take away my dog?
Shit.
Shit! I gotta stop calling people people wiener suckers.
With your pitiful pity, one look with her,
Oh
they take
my
her away.
God, they're going to take her away from me anyways. Oh, they're going to be like, we're so sorry. She calls people wiener suckers.
And
They'll
I mean,
take
when
care
they
of
talk
you.
about infractions, so as dogs, as an
You're taking
example,
away my dog.
when they talk about infractions, they talk about
So like
if you
how
walk
hard
your
are they going
dog,
to fight?
if you walk your
for
dog
this
without a leash, that's an infraction. If there's any public disturbance with your dog, that's an infraction.
So if you walk your dog without a leash,
Without a leash in an area where you're
I'm-
supposed to have a
I'm
leash,
not.
you're in a
I'm
public
not.
park.
I'm not 100% against that.
well, I mean, if
I'm
you
not
take it to
because-
a dog park, do you put a? I thought that's
A
the
dog
whole-
park, no. But like when I'm walking down the street, like a public street, 100% you should have.
I don't know. We bring our dogs over into the park without a leash.
But that's a park. That's not like down where people are going to be. Like I'm just talking like if somebody's going to shut up. Re-education. No, I'd be in the fucking tied to a chair or something somewhere. My God. I'd be in the room by myself with the Olympic lady next to me. Seriously.
Amen,
that's why
Christine.
I'm wondering, Christine, like how bad are they going to fight for this? Like
Well, you got to remember, you're living in a country with no rights to begin with.
yeah,
Right.
but you're going to come and
Right.
take my
Yeah,
dog.
it's
Like, are
true.
you really
But
going
the point is,
are you going to behead
they-
me right there? Because that's about how far the fight's going to
But
have
the
to go.
point is, they incentivize "quote unquote" good behavior, and they de-incentivize or somehow ding you for "quote unquote" bad behavior.
But walking my dog without a leash is a bad behavior,
Yes.
and causing a ruckus is a
Yes,
bad
you're not
behavior.
supposed to cause a ruckus. Do you not know this?
No, obviously I
See,
haven't
it
learned
just
it
seems
yet.
a little far fetched, and
And you signed up for this.
then someone's got to enforce this. I mean,
Tell me who those dumb wiener suckers are. That
And
you
so, and
decided
they
to
talk
sign up for
about,
this.
in several articles, that I read about said that, the whole cashless society, because then you get the extremes of it. And they said, where does it stop?
Mhm.
If you go cashless,
Well,
now can they stop you from being able to get access to your money?
we like bread lines.
Well,
so-
And now all of a sudden,
Absolutely.
can they stop access to you being able to get to your food?
absolutely.
And,
pay your
and
rent.
because
mean,
this
they're
now-
Feed your
does this-
dog.
Does this now
But they already
force
took it, so
you,
it's fine.
quote unquote, force you to become a quote unquote model citizen?
To their standards, yes.
But
And
I-
how
'Cause
How is that
bring me-
different?
and so, you can bring me up,
John,
here.
how is that different than the Holocaust? He wanted model citizens, his
Right.
version of model
I mean,
citizens.
because I found this.
yeah.
I found this. This actually was a moving GIF in one of the articles. But
Not funny.
facial recognition, and they were recording, and they were tracking
The scores.
the scores of
jeez.
people. And
That's
Keith knows
crazy.
this is not that crazy to do.
No, not.
It's
That
a little
It's not
hard.
hard at
It's a right now, today's world, this is
Not at
high
all.
end, but it is possible.
Oh, 100%. You're
Yeah.
telling me they don't have that already for the government. Normal people don't have that. But you're telling me they don't have that already? Of course
mean,
they do.
Keith and I have seen cameras that sit there
Facial
and track,
recognition.
for airports and stuff like that. They have abilities to be able to put, and they track people for thermal temperatures
Mhm.
Absolutely.
this
Through
exact
through
same way.
fields. Mhm.
to be able to tell if you're walking with COVID or not, allegedly.
Right.
So
Shit. I just got schmegma on the microphone.
What did you do?
Took a drink and went right against.
oh, this was the
Wah,
this was
wah.
the article.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there it is. Absolutely.
So I mean, it was a really cool stuff. It talked about this sesame score, they called about it.
Sesame.
Yeah, whatever.
But I did hear about that.
because it was about your credit
Wendy,
history,
is there any left?
your
There's a-
fulfillment capacity, your identity
I
characteristics.
can go get ours.
What are your ability to be able to pay bills and things like
Right.
that.
See, okay, go back to the top part.
This
My
where-
credit history is great. No, go back to the numbers. Fulfillment, I pay my bills back. Identity characteristics, you can find me. Social relationships might not be
because
great.
again, it talked about. I mean, even
and
to the
behavior
ex-
and preferences might not be their favorite as
even to the
well.
extent if you are evasive, you don't have all the lines in your identity filled out. That's a ding on you because you're being evasive. You're not openly sharing every possible aspect that you know.
Do you want to
Some
know what
things
color
are
my
not
pee
meant
was
to
this
be
morning?
shared.
Yes, because
Pretty
then
clear,
that-
actually.
Because
Wasn't bad.
then they can tell whether you need to wear a Fitbit so they can monitor your health
My health. That's
all
true.
the time.
That,
West Virginia, they put a tax on female dogs. Really?
Yep.
So
And
anything
just
is
like in
possible.
Florida, where you can't have certain dogs, that's why we can't move to Florida. Because Bill wouldn't be
Really?
allowed.
Trying to change the
Yeah, you
ending
can't
of
have
the movie
pitties.
Fight Club at the start of the movie. You're absolutely right, Ken. That is absolutely right. They did change the ending of
That's
Fight Club.
crazy.
They changed the ending of a
But
movie.
only in China. Only to the one that was released in China.
Wow.
Because guess what is
Yep.
the number 2 movie market, and what country also number 2 movie market pays for most movies nowadays in Hollywood?
China.
China.
Oh, I'm sure.
You go back to a point Christine made earlier, and we kind of see this moving towards that now, with
Right.
the vaccination passports.
Yep.
Right.
True.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
But that's not necessarily doing it for anybody's health.
Well,
That's
they're not.
doing
They're
it-
not going to do it for anybody's health.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they're
Yeah.
not doing it for a good reason, just like they're not doing this for a good reason.
Th-
But the same issue with every right that we've given up is we volunteered it.
Yes.
And
we
the-
volunteered it
yeah,
because it sounded like a
absolutely.
great idea at the time. And then, oh, we're going to push it on everybody.
Yep.
100% did. So we've done like this social score thing was because something like this happened and they were like, oh, that's a great idea. I'll sign up for it.
Or they were promised perks if they behaved.
That's exactly
Yeah.
it.
Right.
You get
It
better,
is,
you
and that
get-
score is going to
you
give
get-
me good stuff.
Yeah, you get better utility bills. You'll be able to travel to better places. You can have a better car.
Are you
can
going to
have-
give me cheap
you're gonna have
prices? Is that how I'm
cheaper-
going to travel
yeah.
to better places?
Well, you're gonna have cheaper food
Living
prices
or
and-
whatever, yeah.
all those different types of things versus those that are not.
So
The
tell me,
costs all go up.
that's not a capitalistic society in itself. Essentially. So you're telling me that
disagree.
my stuff is going to be cheaper, but in a capitalistic society, I have the money anyway. So it essentially is cheaper to me because $100 isn't as detrimental
No,
as
because,
$100
see,
is.
Because the thing is, in a capitalistic society, so let's take insurance as a prime example, right? So Wendy's a great driver, let's say, we'll pretend, and that I'm a bad driver.
Let's
I
pretend.
think that's pretty, you
Let's
know,
say, Wendy, let's
pretty
pretend.
realistic,
I
not
think that's pretty close to
She
truth.
is a really good driver.
And you're a really
Okay,
bad
and
driver.
you're a really bad
Well,
driver.
I used
there
to
are
be.
times I'm like,
my-
you want me to drive?
my insurance has gone, my score has gone up, I will say.
Your insurance score?
In a good way. In a good way.
Oh, good.
Yes. in a good
Okay,
way,
okay.
Not in a bad way. So whether it's up or down, I don't know what the difference
Whatever
is.
the worst is. Okay.
Okay.
So, but let's just say, for example, if her insurance rates are lower than mine, in a capitalistic society, I have the ability to go somewhere else and find cheaper insurance.
Yep.
In
You
this model,
can.
in this model, if you're going to have to pay higher for food and transportation and stuff like that, that's by the state.
That's true.
I don't know if that's not
Yeah,
going to
me
qualify.
too, Christine. They're taking my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
think
so
we're
I
all
mean, it
screwed.
literally talks, about the good, and then down here it talks about the bad.
What's the bad say? If you fall between a score, you are barred from buying domestic flights. You may be unable to purchase business class train tickets. Your internet will be throttled. Your kids will not be able to attend good schools. You may be restricted from certain high paying jobs, and some hotels will be off limits to you. What's the ugly? That's going to be me. Being a communist dictatorship, China has quite the sordid history of silencing political I can't read that word.
Detractors.
Detractors. And the biggest risk of the social credit system is that you could usher in a new age of digital authoritarianism.
So the point was that they talked in here in one of this. So then there's the
The
black.
blacklist.
there's
Oh, boy,
Lindsay. We
we'd
found
all
Lindsay's
be on the
category.
That's where I
So
am.
and then they bring up
Christine,
a
you
good
with
point
me?
because then you get to this Luhu here who was a journalist who called out the Communist Party, ended up getting on the blacklist. Guess what? Just like anything else, all of a sudden Luhu's friends and connections all vacated and ran as fast as they could away from her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
they
yeah.
did not want to be associated with her because guess what?
You're going to be blacklisted too.
It
Yeah.
would affect your credit score.
Yep.
Right. This is
I would
Oh, I'm
not
gonna
want
be
to live in
so
China. That's
And-
all I
and,
can
and,
say.
and you can say that this is,
Far-fetched.
far-fetched.
not.
This is in play in China right now. Has been since 2014.
But look at it. It's coming here. Can we see the signs that it's
Yeah,
coming
there are
here?
certain
I hope
aspects of this
not.
because there are people that are advocating for this.
Right.
There are people out
Who
there.
are those hookers?
People
Yeah,
out there
let's
right
hunt
now
them-
are saying
let's hunt them
I'm gonna
down.
fucking blacklist
this
their ass.
would make us a better society.
Yep. And they will follow in line.
That's the thing I'm finding is that when you
Dad,
when
are you helping me hunt these people down? We're gonna go bake them cakes.
You're absolutely right, Dan. 100%. It
Yeah.
was funny, side story.
People don't want to think for themselves and really pay attention to what's going
No, they're
on.
gonna
And
see whatever Google tells them.
Off,
They-
off topic,
yeah.
but kind of what Dan said. I was talking to somebody, a couple weeks ago, and they made a strange comment to the fact that, something about the Republicans and slavery. And this person said, that would be good for the Republican Party, right? And I said, why so? And they're like, well, the Republicans have always been for slavery. And I said,
Not so much.
Abraham Lincoln was a Republican, right?
Right.
And they're like, was he? Yeah, he was. He was, a Republican. Go back and look through history. The Democrats were the Jim Crow laws. The Democrats were the ones that voted against civil rights. The
Right.
Democrats were the ones that voted against the 16th Amendment
Weren't they part of the KKK? Okay.
and started the
The
KKK.
Kukas.
I didn't remember that part of
The
it, but I
Kukas.
said the fact that the Democrats are the ones that have been always for slavery, not against it. And the Republicans have always been the ones that freed the slaves and have been against slavery. How do you think? Well, that's what my parents told me. And that's the way and then we're not talking this was some young kid.
yeah,
This is an adult who grew up that way and just believed that
And
for
didn't know.
a long
Because
time.
unless you're doing research in it, why would you look it up?
Right. This is just what they thought.
Yep.
well,
So,
and
going
there were
to the-
some
and
other
again, going-
conversations with that same person that the news stories that they only listened to were mainstream media, so
Mhm.
they didn't
else do you
see a wider range of
No, you only see what they're pushing at you.
right.
Well, and that's one thing, especially with Kenny and Angela, as I was telling them, I said, you have stop watching the news, like start looking other places. Don't just watch what's on channel 3 or channel 10 or channel 5. Like start looking other places because this is not, and this was at the whole beginning of the COVID thing. This is not what they're not out to help you. Like
No.
this is all bad. And as soon as she started looking around, she was like, oh my God. I was like, yeah.
And the
it's
sad part
terrifying.
is this has been going on long before
years.
COVID, but
years.
COVID has really,
amplified it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You done? You want me to turn you off or you have more on there?
You can turn John off.
I don't know, actually.
You know he likes being turned on.
I think that's about.
Where's our
Yes.
quiz? You want to do our quiz?
You want to do our
Oh,
quiz? I
our
can do our
quiz.
quiz.
Let's
Oh,
do our
boy.
quiz.
Yeah, we can do the quiz.
Okay.
So we've officially voted that I'm going to be blacklisted.
It's a speed round, so you're not going to need your letters.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
No letters needed.
Oh my God. Why do you think I'm going to know anything about this?
Do we have a topic?
U.S. This is a
Oh,
patriotic.
8
USA.
this is-
seconds to one. Thank you.
Okay.
it went from 0.8 to 1.25
Oh,
seconds.
that's so much better.
Woohoo!
My brain can't work that fast.
I know, right?
I can spit some bullshit out in 1.2.
All right. So this is about how good of a patriotic American are you?
That's
Absolutely
Okay.
awful.
All right.
I'm calling
Are
bullshit.
you ready?
All
All
righty.
right,
What
let's do
are we
this.
doing? Are we saying who these people are?
You gotta
Are we
yell it
answering a
out.
question?
Yell it out. Yell it out.
Okay.
I can't think that fast. Sorry.
This is hands off.
George
The
Washington.
fucking
George
dude.
Washington.
The Liberty, Bell. No idea.
Jimmy Carter.
Nope.
Oh my God, Roosevelt.
The Constitution. Ronald Reagan. Yeah. The
The
White
White
House.
Jesus, Mount
White
Rushmore.
House.
The Arch. St.
Pentagon.
Louis. The
Pentagon.
Pentagon.
The White
The
House.
Capitol.
Oh, shit.
Statue of Liberty. Golden Gate Bridge.
Come on, Americans.
The White House
Chimney on
again.
Oaks.
The Alamo.
Jesus.
Disney World.
Oh, shit, I
Independence
didn't even know
Hall.
that. Nope. NASA.
NASA.
Duh.
Oh, the
9/11
9/11
memorial.
thingy.
Jesus.
Nope.
Stop going so
Oh, the
fast.
flame.
The
Old Faithful?
yes.
Seattle Needle?
The Hollywood thing. I just seen that.
Las
Vegas.
Do we tell that?
No
Chicago.
idea.
Chicago.
Nope. Nope.
Wow.
New Orleans.
Come
New
on.
Orleans.
Come
Niagara
on.
Falls.
Niagara.
Come
A
on.
dude on a horse. Oh, is
Philadelphia.
that horse still there?
Ben Franklin.
Oh,
Is that horse still there? Isn't that one of the ones they tore down?
Yeah, I think it is. Didn't we see something on or
I don't know what it
seen
is.
something.
Paul Revere.
Sure. What the fuck did Paul Revere do?
All right. So George Washington, Liberty Bell, Jimmy Carter, FDR.
Nope.
I can't spit them out.
Declaration of Independence, not the Constitution. We the people.
Same.
Washington
bullshit.
Monument.
Okay.
I think I heard the White House 4 times.
Probably.
right?
That was me.
Oh, it was
Any
the
big,
White- the actual
any big
White
White
House.
House, I was spitting that out. That was me.
Oh, okay.
I know, but Congress was called the White
Mount
House.
Rushmore. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, the Capitol got called the White House.
Yeah.
That was me. It's a big White House. The Alamo, I called the White House too.
I said too many unknown soldier, but it was
So Tomb of the Unknowns, for anybody that, just personal opinion,
Oh, I didn't know that.
it is worth going and seeing. If you have not had a chance to go to Arlington and see it, I would highly suggest you go see it.
I've never been there.
Cinderella's Castle, Independence Hall, Cape Canaveral, or NASA, and the 9/11 Memorial or Ground Zero.
Okay.
The Supreme Court, that was called
That was the White House.
Again, at Arlington, JFK's,
The Eternal Flame. That's what it was. I was trying to figure that
JFK's
out.
Eternal Flame. Again, I would highly recommend it. It also has his inaugural speech, and it's carved in
that's
marble.
cool.
It's very, very
Hmm.
cool. I would highly recommend
That's
it.
super neat.
Then I heard Old Faithful from Keith, Space Needle, Hollywood
Nope.
Sign, The Strip. I know that's Keith's favorite.
He loves that place. He loves
misses
it.
it.
He
Wendy,
loves it.
Wendy
Why
was
is
the only one that got the
River
Chicago
green?
River.
no. I said Chicago.
I
Did
said
I didn't
I
say
said
Chicago
nothing.
River, but I said.
But what about the
Chicago.
green?
Why is it green?
St. Patrick's Day. They do
Yeah.
St.
every
Patrick's
year.
Day,
Oh,
They
really?
dye it green.
every
I
year.
didn't know that.
And
They
I
dye
thought-
it a different color green because typically it is a shade of green.
Just a shade of
Oh,
green.
so it's a brighter green.
It's a brighter green. Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's always green. but
Yeah.
yes.
green.
Nice.
Green
Yeah.
means it's clean.
They
right?
make it
Yeah.
this Kelly green. And
Yeah.
the funny thing is the fact that's why I picked the picture, just because I don't know of anybody else that does it.
No, I don't think there is.
No, I don't think so either.
So, like,
So
there's
does
the
it
Santa-
literally go through the city like that?
Yeah.
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 Why are you looking at me crazy?
No, I'm not.
That's how
That's
it
just the way,
normally looks.
You
that's
were
just the way I look at
judging
you
me a
normally.
little
No, that's
bit.
just the way I look at you normally.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That was a little more crazy than normal.
that's John's brain thinking of a response. Quick.
Yeah, he was like, I've
San
never been to
Antonio-
Chicago, so I
the
don't
San
know.
Antonio River Walk.
Had no
I
idea
think
what that was.
Graceland got caught at the White House.
No, yeah, I called that the White House too. What is that, Graceland? What's Graceland?
Elvis Presley's house.
Yeah.
Memphis. Graceland.
Elvis Presley.
You ever
I
hear
know
of-
that.
You ever hear of a
Okay.
guy called Elvis?
I did.
Well, thank you very much.
And then I got New Orleans right. got
Uh,
one right.
Rocky
Niagara,
statue in
Rocky
Philly.
statue,
Didn't
yeah.
get that.
Niagara on the U.S.
I
side.
got-
Not as good as the Canadian side,
Canadian
obviously.
Why?
and the Paul Revere statue.
Like seriously?
What?
One side's better than the other side?
Oh, the Canadian side, if you look at it, so and look this up on Google. When you look at it from this side, you're not getting close. So where those people are
Oh
there,
yeah,
that
you're
picture-
super far.
that's
The
as
other
close
one's
as
where
it-
you get like in
the
the
other
water.
one, you literally there's a wall between you and where you could step off into the water.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
okay.
you're like
That's why it's
right
better.
there.
Okay.
That's impressive. You only missed two because I
So-
missed several.
I know.
I got like two right.
The Paul Revere statue in Boston. I thought that was a great shot.
That was a good
Then
shot.
obviously Franklin and
Franklin.
Jefferson.
Obviously.
That was a
They're
good
on your
quiz.
money.
Yeah, it was a good quiz.
Call for the speed round.
You guys did last week.
The seconds were better because you could actually like
They were. I still couldn't get them out.
say
in time.
White
I
House.
know,
you know,
By
by the time my brain registers, it's like, nope.
That's
Yeah,
right.
well, yeah,
That's right.
the
You
next
know-
picture was up,
you
and
know
it's
that
like
Dan
the
got
late
them all right,
response.
though. I know Dan.
He
got them
only
all right.
missed two. He already said.
Okay, did he?
Christine got 16 right. Dad,
Nice,
see?
Christine.
Nice.
Great
Good job.
Did you get all the White Houses? Because, there was a lot. I want to make sure everybody got them.
But Christine, there were only 15 slides. No,
all.
that's not true. That's not true. There were like,
John's mean.
no, there's like 30. I think.
That's
There's
great.
30. There's 30 or 31, something like that.
Oh man,
That's funny.
All right, let's talk Joe Rogan, shall we, for a minute?
Yes.
Oh, are we ready
Yes.
for a Keith's rant?
I gotta
Yeah.
put it. Well, it's gonna be my COVID update, my rant. I like this picture, so I have to put it up. I think it's kind of
Okay.
funny. Keith's COVID update.
What the fuck are you doing in the backyard?
He was rototilling.
Obviously. Put that shit back up.
He was rototilling
Oh my
with
God.
the mask on.
When
I-
was that picture picture.
Today I had to come up with a
It
good
was
picture.
not because the flowers are the sheets are taken down.
The sheets are down because it's been windy for the last day and a half.
I was going to
That
say,
was
how long
literally
ago
today.
did you take this picture? How long have you been preparing for that? You look like what's his name's son all fucking tweaked out. That's what you look like. That's
Hunter
what
Biden?
Hunter?
That's what I
I
thought
look
that
nothing like
picture
Hunter
was. You
Biden.
do so.
That's an insult
From
to
here,
Hunter.
I was like, why does he have him on there?
That's I can't believe you're
All
insulting
tweaked
Hunter.
out. And, like,
That's
what do
funny.
you do? And a diaper on your face?
He was rototilling.
You're welcome.
You suck.
You should have known better. Why do you think mine's sitting on the table?
Right? Exactly.
You're welcome, y'all.
All right. So Joe Rogan. So
Ready.
they're just not letting it rest, are they?
No.
They want him out. They want him off Spotify.
Of course.
Yeah.
What?
So
The White House now has said that Spotify should take them off.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
Why do they have
Why
any
do you have any
input?
say?
they don't. But
Yeah.
they're
Why do you
putting
even
they're
get to have
trying
an
to put-
opinion?
they're trying to put pressure on Spotify. And I think Spotify tried to appease people by putting Joe Rogan's last comments on, but he brings up some good points, and you brought him up earlier. So
What was that?
all Joe Rogan does, and I've watched him for a long time now,
Oh, yeah.
he presents facts.
Yep.
Okay. That's all he does.
Research-based. Yep.
He's not giving an opinion whether he's for this or not or against this. He typically leaves that
He
out of it
he
Right.
gives people a different point of view to
Right.
to chew on.
for
Yep.
people to make up their own minds. Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So
I don't know
yeah.
why you would do that. You're
So
so
they
crazy.
they want him out something bad. So he came on the other day and was talking about, the whole thing with Spotify, and was saying that, 6 months ago, when anybody brought up using ivermectin, they were canceled.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So now he brings
And-
truth to that.
And now you can
And now
talk
they have-
about it. Now
right.
everybody can talk about it
Now-
and you're fine.
Right now, everybody's
Like
talking
it's
about
no
it.
big deal.
Same thing with masks.
Same thing with
he
hydroxychloroquine.
brought up that masks weren't effective. Now,
Oh, yeah, they
It's-
don't really
they're the
work.
From the
CDC
white-
saying they're not
Right.
effective.
Yeah.
Same thing with the vaccines. Okay.
Same thing with monoclonal antibodies.
So here, my point goes back to what I was saying about actors and actresses and music, even musicians. I'll throw them into this category. What do you care what the hell Joe Rogan says?
Right.
If you
Are
don't
they the
like
ones
it,
that are
scroll
upset?
on. You
Don't watch
don't
his
have
show.
to listen.
Right. So why are you basing your platform that you're going to remove yourself because you won't take Joe Rogan off? When are we going to stop? When are we going to stop this?
When enough people say, okay, fine, go for it.
We know. Did you send that video today? Was that the one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With
we
the
should,
nurse.
We should have played that video
I didn't watch it.
tonight. You didn't want. Can we play
Oh.
it? Do you have it to play it?
No.
On your computer?
Not on my computer.
Oh shit.
Where did it come from?
Wendy.
She just
Oh.
like spat it out. And can we email it to John and he can pull it up? What is it? Like what? Can I pull it up on my phone and plug in? I have a pluggy thing.
Probably.
What is it? Where did
She
it
has a
go?
pluggy thing.
It was on text message.
Was it
wasn't
on text message
Yeah,
or
it
was it
was-
on?
It was on text.
It's only 6 minutes long. We should watch it because it's a good video.
Which one was it?
Why don't we just put a link in the
Okay.
comments?
There it is.
Let everybody watch it later.
Yeah.
Was it to the gang?
I think it's important.
Yes, it was
Yes.
to the gang.
No.
Was it the
Yes.
lady talking?
Yes, it was to the gang.
Yes.
This one.
The lady talking.
Okay.
Yes. I think it's important to watch it.
Well,
Plug
I
it
don't know
in.
if I want to spend 6 minutes.
Oh shoot, 'cause
Oh.
we don't have sound turned on either, though.
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
other
have the
problem.
thingy.
No, but I don't have the mixer turned on in there for sound.
Well, we can put a link to it.
We
up
should.
in the
We should put it.
comments.
You
I
have.
haven't
You have a
watched it.
link. It's YouTube, right? It was on. So it was.
Yes,
a,
it was on YouTube.
Yeah, it was on YouTube.
it was a nurse,
Mhm.
and
Oh, it was a nurse. See, I
Yes.
didn't get to watch it.
and she was taught the biggest disturbing thing she said was the child that had the heart attack.
Yes.
That part.
Yeah.
And the doctors are all like, "Oh, that's impossible. A 10-year-old can't have a heart attack." And she's arguing with this doctor. The key point is what she said was that the child was just vaccinated the day before.
Right. So
That
But
was-
that doesn't matter.
she
Doesn't
knew
matter.
what to look for and that it wasn't what the doctor was saying it was.
Nope.
Right. And then she brought up remdesivir, which I think we brought up a couple of times on the show, but
Oh, that's it. Now we're getting.
we do need to bring it up again in one of our future episodes and talk about it though, because it is literally killing people.
Mhm.
And we've heard this several times from several sources
Mhm.
that this
Months
is happening.
ago,
And this is still
they're still giving.
treatment protocol.
Yep.
in these
Because that
hospitals.
And now
is-
they're trying to push it on under 5-year-olds.
On children.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because that's what's considered deemed appropriate from the CDC, because that's what they have approved. Ivermectin is not approved yet to use, so that's why hospitals can't use it.
But there's several
Same
doctors
with
that go off
monoclonal-
script.
Yes.
But in the hospitals,
Yes.
you can't. They will not let you. It is not, you cannot get it.
But it's interesting that you can sue and you can get the courts to say yes.
You can sue and win later, but
but
like,
we've
walking
seen,
into
we've seen
it-
stories of where,
can you have everybody in your hometown? That's not fair.
but we've seen stories where a wife or a husband had to sue
Yes.
To
to
get
be
it.
able to get, and so it was prescribed by a doctor, their family physician, and the hospital fought it.
They won't give it
But why?
because they lose money when they do. It is a non-prescribed drug. They cannot give it.
They lose how much money?
Tons of money.
I mean, like they get loss of all.
Just like they get incentivized to put COVID on your diagnosis.
I
Yeah.
get that. So, but if
So it's
they
the same
didn't,
thing.
but if they didn't put COVID on, so I die of a gunshot wound, and they don't put COVID on because they couldn't. They tried. They gave me,
10 tests and you
10
couldn't
tests.
pass any
Damn
of
it,
them.
he does not have COVID. So they
We even
lose
swabbed
that.
his neighbors and
So
we couldn't
they
get them
so
to
they
have it.
lose that $3,500 or whatever they're going to get for me. But
It's
if
more than that, but yeah.
but if I sue for them to be able to give her ivermectin,
So if she's on event,
yeah,
you're gonna have to go and start the whole lawsuit process, which hopefully she's gonna live through. Fingers crossed. They're kind of hoping she's not. So she passes. Now you're giving her ivermectin. So now you're going against medical advice, and they're gonna write this down. They're gonna put that in the chart.
Fine.
Okay.
Put it in the chart.
So now when you leave, you get better. You
Mhm.
go home. Guess who's getting that bill? It's not insurance. Insurance won't pay for it. You went against medical advice. You are now getting that entire bill.
See, and I find that this is just a bunch of bullshit. And
I need some alcohol.
There might not be any left. Lindsay might have to go to the other bottle. My dad says he still wears a mask because he looks cool.
I know, Dad, you do look cool.
Dan,
I mean,
I'm going to break it to you slowly.
But
no, you don't.
but the thing, just what you said, okay, it goes against not only the
So
Nuremberg
sorry,
Code,
John.
but it goes against the Hippocratic Oath. Okay, you take an oath to do no harm
To your patient.
to your
Right.
patient.
Knowingly do no harm to your patients.
Right.
Yes.
But
Giving them remdesivir, you're harming them.
right.
So right away,
But you're not
You're
though,
in-
because it has
Because they're being
benefits as
told
well,
to,
and
they're
they're being
following
told that this is
orders.
the best. But they're being told that this is the best option. So if I can't do any other research and look into other drugs, for all I know, this is the best option.
But if you know that it's not, so like some of these nurses, like that one,
Nurses,
she
yes.
knew
Yep.
that
100%, that's where you get our tear now in healthcare.
right. And the sad part I find of all this is like when my dad went in
Yep.
into the hospital for COVID, they had just instituted again, no family, no,
Yep.
you
Nothing.
couldn't go in.
No,
Now, for those people that
you literally drop them off.
But
at
what
the
about
ED and
right
say
to try?
that they
bye.
can't say anything,
Yeah.
there's no advocate for them. Luckily, he was of sound mind
Yeah.
to say, no, you're not giving me that.
Right.
No.
So, yeah. So this is where it gets tricky. So where I used to work, I worked in with the house supervisor, who's the person who would get all these questions. So let's say you sit there and say, no, my father has Alzheimer's. He can't be by himself. Somebody has to be with him. So then you have to get an ADA accommodation, which takes a couple of hours. So let's say your dad comes in, he is truly that sick to where he's not going to make it in a couple of hours. He now can't advocate for himself. They're going to give him whatever they want until you get this approval.
Yeah. See, and I
So
find
they're now
that
in
to be
charge, and that's
so,
not the way
so
it should be.
wrong.
Mhm.
So wrong.
So the point
Yes,
is,
sir.
what about right to try? That was signed into law 2 years ago.
I don't know what that
True.
is.
Yeah.
3 years
Because there
ago.
are so many different protocols
So
for,
right to try
cancer
was signed
treatments
in
and
about
stuff.
3 years ago.
But that's a non-emergent situation.
Well, the point was that they could basically use my understanding of it. Now I don't know the whole way it's written,
Yeah.
but basically the layman's terms was that they could try anything possible
To save a patient.
to save a patient.
Absolutely. If you have somebody standing there saying, I want to try this,
And that's why I think they kept
somebody
people
has to be there
out
standing
of-
there to do it. Now, if you're in nurse, doctor, whatever line, what that nurse suggests 50% of the time, depending on your doctor, if he's not an asshat or not, they'll talk about it. But our issue now is we can't talk amongst each other. We have managers. I have a friend who was told when her direct supervisor went away, so it was the associate director position that opened up, she would have been great for it. Absolutely amazing. The director told her, I don't think you would be a good fit for this position because of your views on the vaccine.
Wow.
Not because you know how to do the job, which she was amazing at. She filled in doing it. But because of your views on the vaccine. So now we're stopping the conversations between coworkers, which I think is our whole miscommunication step in
absolutely.
science, in healthcare, in all of this, because we're not allowed to talk to each other.
Right.
99%
Because it
of
affects your
science
social score.
Right.
Because you have,
But
if you
99%
have a
of
different
science
point of view.
is bouncing, whether you have a view or not, science isn't about views. Science is about facts. It's about numbers. But we can't sit here and talk about those numbers because those numbers aren't going to add up to what they want. That's where the issue arises.
And that's where big pharma and some of these millionaires that are in on this shit, they should be charged with
Murder.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
100%.
Because
Hands
all,
down.
I mean, come on, you're living under a rock if you don't know now that it's all about money. And
Yeah.
It's all about pushing this agenda through.
Well,
That's what it's all about.
anytime, I don't know if any of you guys have been on like medications that you have to be on medications for. So when I got diagnosed with MS, my doctor said,
Alcohol.
alcohol is your medication.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Beautiful. No, it's a beautiful option. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful picture I can paint with that. So you have your alcohol. Alcohol is your medication. What if I only told you you can only drink Guinness? That's your only option for alcohol. That's all you get.
Not a black and tan.
Nope. Just straight Guinness. But you know,
I would suffer.
He'd
but I would
adapt.
do it.
I
I'd
would do it.
adapt.
exactly.
he'd
and you'd
adapt.
still do it. Okay. And you'll still get the same effects. But what if it gives you a bad hangover? What if it makes your stomach nauseous because of whatever? When you know that
Regular.
hold on.
Regular. It makes me nauseous.
But when
eventually.
you but you know that there's Bud Light out there.
Right.
Platinum. And you know that it can it could help you.
That's an inside joke, by the way.
But
Yeah,
you
it is.
can't try it because you're only allowed to have Guinness. So it's the same thing with medications. There's more than one medication to do everything. And it's going to affect every single person differently.
Absolutely.
You
Because
have to make
their makeup, their
exactly.
DNA is
Everybody's
different.
DNA is
Yeah.
different. Everybody's reaction is different.
Yep.
How you want to take your side effects is different as well.
Yeah.
So if I am told I can only ever take this one medication, but what if I know that there's 5 others out there that I'm not allowed to try? Why do we have them then?
We have to table this till next week because we're way over.
Are we?
Yeah.
Surprise,
7
surprise.
minutes.
We're still over.
So that's my issue is like, why are you telling me there's only one answer
There's not.
when
There's
there's
not.
not?
We've proven that over and
That's
over
why I
again.
want to
Right.
say, I want to be able to use right to try for anything.
Yeah.
Right. But
Right to try Bud Light Platinum?
but
Yes.
but again, does that
No, thank you.
is there the fine print in there that says during a pandemic or something?
Just like your life
Well, I mean,
insurance?
So
We're
why could they
I'll
say
have to
the
look at it.
vaccine that they developed was authorized under emergency use?
Mhm.
It
Which
was
why are we still using it when we have an FDA approved vaccine? As soon as there's something FDA approved, if you read the emergency use authorization forms,
Use-
as soon as there is an FDA approved product, they have to get rid of all that. So why is emergency use even in effect still? Why is that even a thing?
Well, I think for certain age groups, it's been FDA approved, but the younger age groups now fall under the emergency use. Am I correct?
But-
maybe,
But they're
huh?
still giving Moderna. They're still giving Pfizer, which actually is not the FDA approved company. It's not the FDA approved
Correct.
vaccine.
I thought Pfizer was.
Pfizer had to sell it because they had too many lawsuits.
They changed
it's
their name.
Cogenera or
It's something else now.
Cognera or something like that.
Yeah.
It starts with a C. So why are we still giving the Pfizer vaccine? Why are all our boosters Pfizer? It's not a Pfizer FDA approved product. People.
So again,
know.
that goes back to that we can take like the vaccine, use it for emergency use. That was okay, But the ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine or
Monoclonal
whatever,
antibodies.
that is not okay.
Because if other medications are proven to work, then technically you can't have the emergency use authorization because there's something
There's
else
something that
will-
actually is
Lindsay
FDA
said,
approved.
something else will do the same job.
That's why they haven't
So
approved
they
ivermectin,
They
is
couldn't push it
because
through.
they can't have all this other stuff.
That's why
But-
monoclonal antibodies is going away. That's why you can't find them now.
No, I'm
Well, the
finding this
government
right.
policy.
See,
This
that's
is
just a
right
bunch of
off of
bullshit.
FDA.gov.
Okay. Pull this up.
So FDA.gov, an eligible patient is a patient who has been diagnosed with a life-threatening disease or condition, exhausted approved
So right to try.
treatment options.
Exhausted approved treatment options.
But if you're on but see, and therein lies, I can make
That's
the
where
argument.
you're gonna
But where do you call the line on I've exhausted everything else?
Because they
when
want
there's
to
literally
push
no
what
more.
you're not taking what they
What?
want you to
when
take.
when I flatline, that
Yep.
means we've exhausted
100%.
everything.
No,
Yeah,
because
pretty
if there's
much.
still different options, they'll give them to you. So exhausted every option in medical life is literally no other option. Nothing. No other drug, no other, hey, we could try this drug. Hey, we could, no other option.
I mean, granted,
I'm just saying.
I would. I mean, I will.
I just
Yeah.
think it's so
if,
wrong.
If she was in the
it's
hospital,
100% wrong. It's
It is so
100%
wrong.
wrong.
if
Especially
she
when
were in
you
the
have
hospital,
things
I would
out
be
there that
literally
work.
just saying, babe will be back in about 11 hours.
I would just say, hey,
Okay, some
I'm taking
ivermectin.
And I
you
would
to
be
Lindsay's
heading
house
south
and
of the
dropping you
border,
off, and
grabbing
we're
something, and coming back
Yeah,
and slipping
absolutely.
into their food.
Yeah.
you wouldn't be allowed in. You're not allowed in the hospital.
See, and I
you can't
think
go in.
and I think that was
And if
by
you
design.
get caught
And I agree with
giving,
that. I
and
agree
if
with
you
what
get
Wendy
caught
says.
giving a patient outside medication, they will arrest you and take you away.
For what?
For we've done it 2 or 3 times. It's it's interflicting. No, seriously, because that's the same thing as when they come and give like heroin to patients. You get arrested, they take you away.
I've had family members that said, "Hey, bring me a bottle."
Oh yeah, 100%. Just don't get caught.
get caught.
That's what I'm saying. If you get caught, like they will 100% take you away.
But you have every right to leave that hospital.
You have every right to leave
Yeah.
the hospital, and you're going to have a cheaper bill than if you stay and fight it and then have to pay the whole thing on your own.
That's the thing.
Legally, they cannot keep you if
They
you
cannot
refuse.
keep you
Right.
unless
So
you are
there you go.
suicidal. So don't
Hey,
ever
I
say
just
you're
got
going to
back
kill
from
yourself.
Mexico. Let's check out.
Yep.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Or hey, I'm going to
Yeah.
Mexico. Lindsay's coming to get you. I'll meet you at the
Yes.
house.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Meet me in Tucson.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh man,
call up Jesus.
these shows aren't long enough, man. We get
Tell 'em
into
to
all
be
these
ready.
No, but they're
topics.
too long. Sometimes.
But
they're
you
too
do
long.
need to
I
take a
know.
new ride to Mexico. We do need to refill on some stuff.
Yeah,
Nice.
we do. I would agree with
We
that.
love
My
Mexico.
Z-Pack's gone. My
Is it?
backup one.
I know I had to
Yeah.
use some of my mine too, because when I got
Not that we know anything. So, all
right.
right.
So we're out of
I know
time.
nothing.
Yep.
I do want to advertise a couple of shows you guys can watch on YouTube. We started up The Truth About Your Beer again, season 4. And another show that you see him in the comments there, Bios to Books. My dad does a show interviewing different authors. So go check that
the
out.
soul of Juby Walker might be a hooker story.
It's not a hooker story. You gotta stop saying
It
that.
is. Could be.
Christine says the show needs to be a bit longer.
I agree,
No,
Christine.
it's Christine. We not need to get it.
If we get it longer, we drink more, and that's
we
probably
Yes.
not
we
good.
are not Joe Rogan. We can't do that. Anyway,
But we will be back next week.
yes, we'll be back.
So, you know,
Who knows what the topic's going to be?
and you know how to get a hold of us.
We kind of make it up on the fly, but you know.
Hey,
Education
I have-
is education is floating out there somewhere, and then the debt is floating out there.
Mm.
And
Are we ever going to
to
finish talking about what we talked about last week?
What was last week?
Socialism Part 3?
Yeah.
and weren't
No,
we supposed
okay.
to like
We
go
just-
back to the Constitution too?
Yeah,
were
we're
supposed
supposed
to.
to do
Yeah.
the Constitution too.
Yeah.
And then I want to toss out there: is there anything anybody else wants to talk about?
Yes, shoot us a message.
Yes.
Matter of fact, comment on YouTube, please. Go make a comment
Or Facebook.
or
Or
Rumble.
Rumble.
Let
Or
us know.
message us.
Let us know what you want to hear. If you want a specific topic, maybe it doesn't have to be political. It could be anything.
Rem
That's-
does
that's
mayor.
what-
Yeah, we
Could
can
be
do any
fucking-
topic.
Yeah. That's what Coffee Table Chronicles is about.
Yeah.
Whatever we want to.
Well,
talk
I mean, the whole premise of this is
Or
to
you're
be
leaving it
kind
up to
of
us to
like-
come up with it.
I mean, I'm assuming I'm going to make an assumption here that the whole premise is current events.
yes.
Yeah, whatever.
Sort of. I mean,
whatever is top of mind. What kind of
essentially anything you're going to sit around and talk with at the dinner table or breakfast table with your family and friends, and So it could be stuff you saw, stuff that's affecting you. It could be the gas prices. It could be, and not even in a political aspect, just how it's affecting you.
This fucking hooker cut me off.
Don't you mean the coffee
table?
table? You said dinner table and breakfast table. You mean a coffee table?
Yes, coffee table, but not everybody drinks coffee all day long.
You don't have to drink coffee at a coffee table. You can have tea. You can have whatever. You can have bourbon cream for all you want. Doesn't matter. Nobody's judging. Not saying, just you can have whatever you want.
I felt that dagger over here.
Right. You can have ginger ale if you want. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat. Anyway, want to say thank you to our veterans, our first responders, our police, and who else? Who am I missing there? And our truckers, our Canadian friends.
Yes, our Canadian truckers.
Yes. Hey,
Canadian
job.
and American.
Stand in solidarity.
If you come up with a way for us to send you money and not through GoFundMe, let us know.
Guys, when you're making your trip, okay, pick Oprah up and take her back with you.
Fucking shit.
And we'll be
Drop her off.
no.
Yeah. Do you know?
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
This is supposed to go in my hooker story. What is her real name?
Whoopies?
Fucking Karen.
That's right. It is. Her real name is
Is it
Karen.
With
really?
a C. It fucking is. I was like, this hooker started it to begin with.
Oh man, she was born
She
into
started the Karen.
Do you think she
There
really
you
wrote?
go.
You think in grade school she really wrote fucking Karen?
Fucking Karen.
it. Fucking Karen.
All right, everybody,
No,
have
but
a great
I bet
weekend.
you other people did.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.